Welcome, everybody, to D&Dorks Minor Infractions, Episode 4. It's been 2 weeks. I'm ready to get back into it. What about the rest of you guys? You excited? I know last episode was a good one. Definitely my favorite of Minor Infractions so far, and it ended on a very good point. So we have a lot of fun things to follow up on this week, and I've had 2 weeks to process them. So that'll be well, I was going to say good. It'll be stupid, but stupid in a way that's enjoyable to watch and play, which is, I think, got to be the main goal, right? That's the D&Dorks guarantee. Now, let's see. Do we have any announcements or anything to do? I don't think we have a ton, despite having been gone for 2 weeks. As I've said many times, I was at Emerald City Comic Con last weekend, so if anyone who watches this show said hello to me, hello, it was good seeing you. I should also note, more for the bit, many people told me that last episode, I unintentionally made a Has-Been Hotel reference with making a character that's basically Serpentious. I had not seen Has-Been Hotel. I had no context for that. In the 2 weeks, I have now seen Has-Been. So any references I make from this point on will be intentional. I'll say that much. I liked it. The plot structure and the pacing are definitely a little bit weird, but the characters are fantastic and the relationships between them. So I see why people latched onto that. I thought it was a fun show. I'm looking forward to season 2. And then I was watching it with people at Emerald City Comic Con. So it was very funny to watch it and then walk around and see people cosplaying every single character, because it was by far the most common cosplay thing at the convention. And it was not close. I've been told to fix the sound, and I'm not sure why. Let me see what's going on here. It might be a Streamlabs thing. Apparently, we got to invert it. I am not muted, but everybody else is. There we go. Look at that. What were we were talking about Has-Been. But yeah, I thought Has-Been was pretty good. There will probably be more intentional references now. I also realized I made a character named Valentine right before Valentino was a thing, which, again, I'd only seen the pilot. I had only seen the pilot, so I didn't even know that was a character. But also, right after the D&Dorks thing that was about angels attacking the underworld, I did a lot of unintentional Has-Been parodies without knowing that it was a thing. Technically, Agents of Hades was first, though, so whatever. But yeah.
Matt, the guy who does the music might follow you, because he follows me.
Pause the show. What's the username?
Sam Haft. And then parentheses, the living tombstone. Yeah.
If I really should not be looking at this on live, because if he follows you and not me, that's going to be really embarrassing for me. But here we go. This is so bad for me. This is so bad for me, guys. We're going to have to cut this out of the VOD.
Listen, there's nothing unhealthy.
Him now.
Maybe that'll get him to do it finally. No, I met him.
I feel like someone don't add him anybody. I don't know how many people are watching it. Nobody add him. That'd be bad.
I met him and I was like, dude, I'm such a big fan. And he turned around and was like, Nikhil. And then he hugged me and I was like, do we know each other?
That's
I was
crazy.
He was like, no.
That's crazy. Someone in chat asked what my top Has-Been song is. I have 3 on my playlist. I'll look to make sure I know the right ones, and then we'll actually get into our show and stop talking about this other show. Loser Baby is my favorite. I don't think that's a controversial choice. I think that's a very common choice. I also have Hell is Forever and Hell's Greatest Dad on my playlist. Those are my favorite 3.
I can't wait to find out what that is.
Have you not seen it?
Have you not seen it, Jess?
Josie and I just watched episode 2.
So you're at the weird pacing part.
Yeah.
But you'll...
Yeah, this is good.
The story is, fine, genuinely. But, it's the music that I think makes it such a force in the world.
Yeah, the character work and the music are both really good. Oh, there's Tim in chat. Hello, Tim.
All professional Broadway people.
Yeah.
The singing.
That's going to do it.
Yeah.
I've met one of them years ago. I've met Jeremy Jordan at a con before.
You met Jeremy Jordan?
Many years before. There's a picture somewhere that I can't share because it was in my no facial hair, short hair era that I never share pictures of. But somewhere out in the world, there is a picture of me and my mother, actually, with Jeremy Jordan, because we used to watch, my whole family used to watch Supergirl together when the CW DC shows were good. And so we met Jeremy Jordan for that. And then I found out that he was in Has Been like a week ago, and I was like, wait, what?
That's
Who was he
amazing.
in Supergirl?
What was his Win? That was his name. Like the guy in the chair,
Oh
the
my
guy in the
God.
chair character.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was very nice when I met him like 6 years ago. I'm sure he's still nice now.
Nah, the fame's gone to his head for sure.
All right, so I keep wanting to say last week. Last episode was a big one. Many things happened, and so I'm sure you have all been dreading this question that you knew was coming from me. But who, if anyone, wants to take the recap of last week? I think Nikhil probably wants to do at least the ending bit of it. Because
I was gonna say, I think I can. I just have to remember where last week started.
If you want to cut in, if someone else wants to do it and you want to cut in at the end, I'm fine with that because you're taking point at the beginning.
I got it.
All right,
I got it. It starts with us leaving with Shepard, right, to go to Dr. Clock. Is that where last week began?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last week started with the first boss fight.
All right, someone chime in when I clearly forget
Started with
what
the
the hell
goons.
happened. Yes, it started. So we all left to go. We had Shepard, and we were going to go take on Dr. Clock, and we went on our way. And immediately, there was another little drone thingy that was keeping an eye on us, and Shepard tried to shoot it and failed, and that would be the start of him sucking for the rest of the episode.
Yeah. Not his best day.
We got to some like town center area. We noticed someone was tailing us. Pine just sort of shouted to them that people were dead and that we would like to have a conversation. They wanted us to go into an alley. We originally did not want to go into an alley. That lasted like 15 minutes, and then we went into the alley anyway. There were a lot of goons. We managed to convince all of them. Specifically, CL.
All of them but one who got dumped in a hole.
All of them but one who got dumped in a hole. To go with us to overthrow Dr. Clock because they worked for the Leonin. And then they did, but then before we could actually get to Dr. Clock, a giant metal kaiju thingy that was covered in rocks pops out of the ground and tries to fight us. Dr. Ratch Hatchet inspires one of the goons to reform and to fight with us. And he does the best job ever. And his name turned out to be Batsby. He fought till his last leg, and it's truly amazing.
Nikhil's favorite character in any D&D thing
almost
ever.
Almost every other goon fled. There was another guy named Janus, the one we originally talked to, that I think
Javis
stuck around.
Javis stuck around.
I think he stuck around too. I don't know what's up with him, but it ended with the cops showing up and arresting both. What is your name again? Iggy and Pine, and CL and Ratch Hatchet and Shepard and everyone else kind of walked away, and then we all met up in my office. While we were waiting in the office, actually, Pine and Iggy, for a part I didn't listen to but gathered later, talked to the king and was told that they were now in charge of the knights. So that's helpful.
Kind of. I feel obligated to. Yeah. I feel obligated to remind everyone that Pine embellished the story she told to you guys later just a little bit.
What you're talking about? I'm in charge.
Just a little bit.
As far as Ratchet and CL are aware, we're in charge of the knights now. And then, right as everything was looking good, Batsby was sticking around with us as well. Valentine strolled into Ratch Hatchet's office, and that's what you missed on Glee.
Yes, that is correct.
Also notably, we discovered that Catsby can use his bits as weapons or weapon modifiers.
Yes, that's how we defeated the kaiju, because Iggy did the Tasmanian Devil spin.
He did a big tornado attack thing, which I feel to also give some insight as to what the characters are feeling. Shepard was very reluctant to have you guys do, but as Nikhil mentioned earlier, Shepard also had some of the worst roles I've ever had as a DM for any character. And then, because sometimes the roles determine these kind of things, Catsby did help, Shepard didn't help, and I believe that has sort of swayed the party's stance on whose side they're aligned with a little bit.
At the end, both CL and I agreed to give Catsby back some of his or whatever.
Yes.
We were
yes.
siding with Gatsby, I know,
Mhm.
in the argument that Shepard had.
Yes. And then, as Nikhil said a second ago, Valentine just kind of like very quickly slipped into the office of Detective Hatchet at the end. And before we sort of get right into things, Nikhil, do you want to just give everyone a very quick reminder as to Detective Hatchet's feelings on Valentine by any chance?
Hates him immensely. He's the worst being to ever exist. He's whatever world's version of a devil this man could be.
Again, I could make many has-been references intentionally now. They were unintentionally before, but I'll save those for later. I mean, Nikhil, I think you're the one who has to start this episode off. We ended with you pulling your gun out and putting it in this guy's face, so how do you want to do this? Does anyone want to stop him? Begin the episode.
Oh, yeah. I did pull my gun at the end of the last episode. So I pull my gun out. I'm ready to cast a spell. And I go, Valentine, you're under arrest right now. Do not move. Please surrender yourself. I think we have handcuffs somewhere, and you can put them on you.
Did you just say you can put them on you?
Well, I'm busy. I gotta be prepped. I can't.
Okay. So Valentine, still just sort of standing there, looks surprising. Well, maybe not surprisingly given their character, but very unfazed by the gun that's like an inch away from their face. They just kind of look you up and down and go, well, it seems that the environment I've walked into is a little bit more hostile than I was expecting, which I can respect. I did come into your home, so that's on me. Perhaps I've given you some sort of warning that would have been better, but can we just calm down and talk without the gun in my face, please?
No.
You're not putting the gun down. The rest of you? Anyone else a little bit more reasonable?
Batsby, go find handcuffs for our guest here. They're somewhere.
Is Batsby with you?
Yeah,
I think
back
no,
with
he
us.
did.
Yeah, he
No,
was with us.
Javis left. Batsby was with you. Right. I think that's in my notes somewhere.
Batsby's gonna be an NPC I now force Matt to bring around this whole campaign.
Batsby starts kind of pauses for a second and then starts rummaging around for handcuffs in the office that he has never stepped foot in before. So I'll do a roll to see how that goes, but it's gonna take a bit regardless. So
Fair.
The handcuffs are being looked for.
You must, well, not necessarily forgive the Minotaur, but ignore the Minotaur. He is under the impression that you're some manner of devil. Personally, I find the assertion that anyone so much significantly evil, more evil than anyone else is... He has strong feelings, but we can talk.
I want, for the record, you are much more evil than I am, and that he's much more evil than you. There's a clear
There's
binary
a
here.
limit. There's a limit to it. There's a ceiling that we can see. We've seen it.
This man. This is the most evil of men.
Well, we don't have to go that far, but look, you have your convictions, and I respect that. I too have my convictions, and while they might seem like they're butting heads at the moment, I'm sure we can work something out. Now, Pine, was it? Valentine just turns away from you fully, like you are no longer on their mind at this moment.
Okay.
Pine, I have been informed about your little meeting with the king. Congratulations, you really rose your way up through the ranks at light speed.
Oh, was that a difficult thing? It took me about half an hour.
You see like a little like twitch in Valentine's eye. I am impressed. What can I say? Now, can we sit? The gun is still pointed at my head, and there's some tension. But if we can just relax, we do have some things to discuss. The king. Well, I'm sure you know about the status of the king. He does his best. He really does. But he's an elderly man. I think we should be able to talk about things between the younger generation.
Yeah, of course. I just are you disrespecting the king's authority right now?
You see like Valentine's eyebrow raised just slightly. All their expressions are very muted because they try to control all of that. But that is definitely noted immediately that you said that. Actually, make me an insight check.
Okay. I have the character sheet up for the wrong character on D&D Beyond, which I don't know how I've done that. So I'm going to roll my dice and get a flat 9 and then hope Pine has some kind of modifier to that.
Do I know Pine's insight modifier off the top of my head? I don't think I do. It's probably not
Insight?
bad.
11.
An 11. Okay. Yeah. The only thing that you're gonna get from that is something that you probably already knew, which is very clearly that Valentine is like analyzing everything that is being said in this conversation, kind of looking for like ways that you might have gotten up so close to the king quickly, ways that they can sort of worm their way into that relationship. It's very clear from someone who kind of runs in a similar circle that this is what is going on here. So I guess this is a question that I'll actually toss to Nikhil, because this is happening in Hatchet's office. Is there like a sitting area, or is this like very bare bones 1920s detective desk chair?
One chair.
Yeah. I feel like it's that one, but
there should be like, in my head, for what a 1920s detective office is it should be like an actual sitting room. And then the office is like with the door with the blinds. But we don't even have to be in my little office. We're just in the anteroom.
okay. In that case, Valentine is going to go and sit, very casually, kind of like arm draped across the back of a couch or whatever, and gesture to Pine to sort of sit across from them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Pine would absolutely sit across. Maybe grab like an old lady blanket to put across her lap, but other than that, yeah.
So this is going to be fun. Pine, I need you to make me a charisma save.
Oh boy.
Okay. I can do that. +6 to a charisma save, and I got a 21.
21. Okay, 21 is actually better than I was expecting. I need to look at everybody's stats again. But
It's my best
in that
save.
case, the favorite thing to hear from a DM, you don't notice anything. Nothing's really happening there. Valentine kind of looks you up and goes, "So, Pine. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I might be here, but that name does ring some sort of bell. You've been making a little bit of a buzz in some of the spaces of Spondylix. Am I correct about that?"
Oh, have I? I wouldn't know. I don't really pay attention to how much, reputation, glory, all that.
Well,
You may have heard of me lately.
of course, this is not something that I would get myself involved in, but I have contacts in certain areas, and I've heard from Elgon that you and your associates, perhaps, have been causing some trouble for him.
No, well, that's unfortunate to hear.
Now, is that something that you're hoping to do, or is that something that you're trying to avoid?
Oh, causing trouble directly, trying to avoid. We had a disagreement with Dr. Clock. He had some bits that belonged to a friend of ours.
I'm sorry, did you say bits?
Yeah, bits.
Oh,
Maybe you would know about
but
bits.
from Dr.
Do you have
Clock,
any bits?
None that belong to anyone else, let's put it that way. But knowing Clark, I'm not surprised that you came to conflict. That man could use some re-education in social skills, let's put it that way. Not always the most pleasant person to be around, especially for more business-inclined people such as us.
Oh, look at that. We found common ground.
Excellent. Valentine shoots a very slight glare at Hatchet across the room, and then looks back to you.
Pointing a gun at this man.
I assume that the gun is not going back into the holster throughout this entire scene until it is explicitly said that it is, which may never actually happen. Who knows? Now, at this point, I want to make Catsby is nowhere to be seen. Catsby, presumably, ducked under something. I assume that Hatchet's office is not necessarily cluttered, but there are places where a strange, somewhat shape-shifting cat could definitely hide, right? Yeah. But Shepard is still there. Shepard has not said much since you got back, as Shepard is pissed at all of you, and also everyone else is pissed at Shepard. So he's kind of keeping an eye on this situation as well. And as Valentine looks over at Hatchet and kind of glares, once again, they sort of scan the room. And actually, anyone who's watching and actively trying to pay attention, make me another insight check.
Insight.
Yeah.
The best one. That is an 8 for Hatchet.
You're focused on gun.
I also got an 8. That's not.
I got a 14.
And
14. Jake, what did you get if you rolled one?
I was just a 10.
Oh, 10. Okay.
Yeah.
So the best one is 14. With that, again, Valentine being a very secretive person, you probably don't get too much. But I will say, CL, unsurprisingly, you do notice that Valentine's gaze kind of like lingers a little bit more on Shepard. Why? You can't really tell. You don't know if... You can't tell if there's recognition there or a lack of recognition, which would be out of the ordinary, you know? But there's definitely something about Shepard that intrigues Valentine more, which, again, not super surprising, but that is a little bit more information. Pine, do you still have that document on you from the king? Or did you put that down?
I do.
Okay.
I'm never letting this thing go. Are you kidding me?
I did not think that would be the case, but Valentine, noticing this, goes, now, getting down to business, as is why I'm here, that document that you have there, would you mind if I took a look through it? You don't have to let go. I can read it from here. I just want to take a look at the legal terms, make sure everything works out correctly. The king, well, if he wrote it himself or had anyone else directly write it off of his dictation, complications could arise.
You don't know what it says. And that worries you.
There's another...
Sorry, you thought this was going to be a moment where we... Oh, no.
Another little... No, I was just going to say there's another little, like, twitch in Valentine's eye.
You thought we were going to the thing where we dance around and don't say the words that we mean to each other until one of us gives us information. So I am going to tell you that I'm a little more blunt than that. You don't know what this document means, and that bothers you.
Okay. I gotta decide how this character would react now. And I think I actually do know. Once again, there's that little twitch at the corner of their eye, but then you actually see them relax a surprising amount, seemingly genuinely, as a little bit of like the stilted, more formal manner comes out of their tone. Goes, oh, thank God. You have no idea how draining it is working in that formal political setting. But if we're going to do this on a more street level, let's call it that, fine. Show me the document or I'll kill you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Just to clarify, that's a threat?
I think you know the answer to that one.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast. What is the strongest thing that I can do to somebody?
Love this.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Lightning Bolt
In Hatch's office? I'm sure.
I think Hatch.
I think
Rat Hatchet would sacrifice an office.
I said it, and as I was saying it, I was like, no, I don't think you're gonna get yelled at too much for that one. Okay, so Lightning Bolt is probably a save.
Yeah,
what's
it's
the
DC 14 dex save.
DC 14 dex save. What's the radius on that? Is that there's so many similar lightning spells. Is that one a single target or is that an area of effect?
It is definitely 100-foot long.
Oh, right, that's the beam.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes this even more interesting.
I will say that if there was anybody in the splash zone of this attack, I probably, like, Pine would probably not do it. I think she knows the range of her spells pretty well.
So that does raise a point then. Hatchet's office would not be like super set apart from everywhere else. It is in like a region of the city. If you fire off 100-foot lightning beam, it's probably going to go through into another building.
All right, fine. I'm just gonna blast then. Yeah.
Lightning is you shoot 100 feet of lightning like out of your hand.
Yeah.
There's a couple different similar lightning spells, which is why I asked. There's one that like calls it down from the sky, and then there's another one that's like like an Iron Man unibeam. Like the lightning bolt spell is a unibeam essentially.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the other one is, but I digress.
Interesting.
And I just really enjoyed the vision of like, yes, that's a threat. Okay.
Oh no! Look, it's a cool image. If you want to go for it, go for it.
Because the kind of hope was to just blast through the window and like out. But if it's like, I don't think Pine would risk collateral damage.
100 feet is not an absurd amount of feet, genuinely, in terms of a city.
I will give you this.
If we say you're gonna hit him out the window, he probably lands in a street.
I will give you this.
It's not gonna go across. If
you actively want to like dash to the side and fire it so that it would shoot out the front window, you can do that. This is just one of those things where I, as the DM, have to be like, okay, which direction are you shooting the spell? But if you want to clarify that you're shooting it out into the road, that is totally fine. You said that was a DC... someone in chat said the other spell is Call Lightning. I think that is right. Thank you. DC 14 dex save is what I heard.
Correct. I'm grabbing a bunch of D6s because this is an 8d6 spell.
Well, don't get ahead of yourself.
It's halved if you make it. I got to roll the same either way.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Oh.
I mean, if he makes it, still have.
You people like to jump ahead of the DM who knows what this character is. You fire off this lightning bolt, blasting through a decent chunk of this office. I imagine the way that this would look cinematically is is that a threat? And then we cut to a shot of the front of the office and just boom. And then it's like that shot in The Incredibles where Mr. Incredible throws the guy through the walls, like it pans over and there's Pine just standing there with the massive bolt. You don't see any evidence of the being you were just speaking to.
Good job! You disintegrated him.
I assume you're not mad about the office?
You vanquished the devil. You're fine.
Cool.
We can rebuild a window.
CL is walking through the smashed things and looking for evidence of Valentine or where they may have gone.
Give me an investigation check.
That's a nat 20!
Oh, a nat 20 is actually quite good. And in fact...
Is it? Really?
With a nat 20, I will actually give you extra stuff here. As I don't know why I'm saying these obvious things. You're right, Nikhil. CL, you start looking around. Not only do you not find any evidence of anybody getting hit by this blast, you see the wreckage of the wall, but no organic parts in it. As you look around outside the front of this office, there are no footstep or footprints or any evidence of any physical being entering here at all other than you guys.
That
was actually a pretty good time to get a nat 20.
CL takes a seat at whatever lounging chairs are left after the blast.
And it just sits on the half-burnt one.
Noted trickster and political survivalist Valentine may not have showed themselves in the open to potential enemies.
They didn't.
I think they've done quite a good job of blasting their shadow clone, as it were.
You see, this is what I'm saying. That's something a devil would do. He made Pine blow up my office. Do you see the level of evil this man is?
Yeah, they made that happen. Yes.
Shepard starts walking over to the wreckage and inspecting it himself as well, just kind of muttering to himself. He goes, I wish we could go 20 goddamn minutes down here without some absolutely wild shit happening. Have any of you interacted with this asshole before?
Can I make a history check? Because,
go for it.
Valentine is the one I've been least...
Yeah.
No, that's a 2 on the die. And my history isn't plus 18, so...
Probably not if it was minor enough that you don't remember it.
Yeah.
Wait, can I roll to see how well I know this man? I'm obsessed with him.
Yeah,
I want to know.
You know, since we have established that Hatchet does care a lot and you're a detective, give me a history check with advantage on the assumption you've researched it.
Going to need... Oh, wow. With advantage? That is an 8.
Well...
Raps continues to be terrible at his job.
I tried to help you out there.
You did.
Yeah, not too much there.
Oh. Well,
after a moment, you hear a voice coming from outside. Like, is there like a kitchen? And I don't know. Actually, this is a good question. Does Hatchet live in his office? Is this your home as well? Or
yes.
okay, then out of like a kitchen cupboard, you hear a voice. Goes, is he gone? Is it safe to come out of here now? And then you'd see just like a little flash of gold kind of burst out of a cabinet into the room, duck behind the scorched remnant of a chair, kind of look out and goes, so are we good? Did we get him? It kind of looks like we got somebody. Everybody here? I'm not seeing any heads blown off.
No, they manipulated Pine and got them to destroy my office. Just another act in our rivalry.
Which we all agree was not my fault.
Yes, Pine is an innocent victim in this person's treachery.
You know, if we would like to continue our war against Valentine, because Valentine probably has some of Catsby's bits anyway, we could just go back to the king. Nothing will bring Valentine out like pissing them off.
That is actually quite fair. I'll need to go get more water if you're going to have to talk to the king again for that voice, but I can do that.
Yeah, can we at least like sleep first? Like it's been quite a day.
It is nighttime, I believe.
I am out of everything that I could possibly do.
That's a good point.
So you don't want to have a boss battle right now?
No.
Intriguing.
Shepard speaks up at this point and goes, not that I'm too inclined to helping you folks at the moment, but are you going to sleep here?
I am.
Because
Actually,
the creepy motherfucker told you he was going to kill all y'all and then vanished.
Yeah,
I wouldn't stay here.
but this is my office. This is my office.
Shepard kind of looks at the gigantic hole in the front of the building. Goes, you might want to close down for repairs, bud.
Cheers. If not here, where? Like, no offense to you. No offense to you guys, but I've been doing most of the hosting up until this point. One of you want to represent?
That's not true.
Yeah, that is actually actively not true.
That's not true.
We met here twice. That's something. We've not met anywhere else.
The first time we met at my place.
Oh, did we? Then I'm wrong.
This is gonna be weird for somebody who is not like actively being spoken to right now. Nikhil, give me a persuasion check. I know that's weird to ask for out of the blue, but trust me here.
I don't think anything you do is weird, Matt.
Thank you. You're wrong, but thank you.
That is a 14.
A 14? Okay. At your inspiring presence, Batsby, who has kind of just been like sitting there nervously throughout this entire interaction, speaks up. What did we do a voice for Batsby last time?
I don't think so.
I don't know if Batsby's ever spoken.
I think there were like very quick lines because I didn't know that this was going to be a character, and I will resist the urge to attempt a Serpentious impression. Batsby kind of speaking goes, well, you guys did technically help out me and the boys with dealing with that robot guy. I could maybe put you up in Elgon's barracks for a bit with the other boys, because Javis is there too. Javis will probably vouch for you. Also, there's gonna be more guys there. I don't think Valentine would like attack with all the guys.
So hide from one mob boss by going to the place his partner in crime.
Yeah,
runs. Genius plan, Batsby. Thank you.
It's just a pitch. We don't have to do it.
I love it. It's undercover. All right, let's go.
Genuinely the last place I think that Valentine would look for us.
Yeah.
You're probably right, but I'm not too eager to go back there.
Oh, yes. Well, Shepard, did you have a plan, or were you just pointing out the that these facilities were lacking.
I got down here a few goddamn hours ago, and I've hated pretty much every moment of my experience, so I have no idea what the hell's going on.
I mean, as far as we know, nobody knows where my place is.
True.
As far as he
Fine.
knows,
This guy.
Pine,
No,
your
Jen's
assistant
li-
lady
Jen-
had a wonderful building as well. That
Yes.
probably can't be tracked to us.
Yeah, I mean, Janine's place is pretty covert. It is smaller than Iggy's place, but you seem to have something against Iggy's place.
If we can't stay at my office, might be why he comes to get us. I feel like staying in one of our houses may all yield the same. Valentine is a very devilish person, and you never know what he may know.
I mean, technically, if we stayed at my place, we'd be staying at a dead guy's place that isn't really connected to me, but, whatever.
Yeah, but Hatch is still convinced that's your grandfather.
Yeah.
No more advice from the DM on this one. This is on you guys. This is another flowchart scenario.
We could go and requisition a room with the Scalies since I own them.
I love the idea of getting to lord myself over the pretentious knights.
But if we're avoiding Valentine, that is kind of going directly into their territory.
Yeah.
Is it? Does Valentine on the cops? I missed that. All right.
Well, Valentine is a diplomat with the royal government, and the Scalies work directly for the royal government. Presumably, Valentine has people on the inside.
That is from history. I will let you know that is a safe bet. Yes.
Okay, then yes, we shouldn't go there. Maybe go to Iggy's place. It was nice.
Okay.
They had mushrooms out back.
Yeah.
They did.
Probably still some left.
None of our options are good, so I guess that one's the best.
All right. So you guys are gonna head over to Iggy's place. Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to think if I can word this question I'm about to ask in a way that's a little bit less ominous, but screw it. Ominous is fun. Is there going to be any system for keeping watch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How are you guys gonna break that down?
We each take a shift, I would say. If it's the four of us plus Shepard plus Batsby, that's 6 people. So that's 2 hours. Not even.
No, wait a second.
Hey.
I'm a high elf. I don't need to sleep.
Then
I
you
go
can do
into
the whole
a
thing.
trance.
You just to meditate for 4 hours. Hey,
Yeah.
Catsby, do you need to sleep?
I don't think so. Haven't
In
done
a
it before.
magical. Okay.
Probably security.
Couldn't he just? I mean, he's pretty small, pretty stealthy. Couldn't he just keep an eye out and, start squealing and mewing if he sees something?
Should we do shifts in groups of 2 just in case something happens to one?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have an extra eye as well.
Because they are trying to get Catsby, and so if Catsby's the only one leaving guard, we might lose Catsby.
So we could put the cat up all night, and then one of us watches the cat for like an hour each, and then everyone else sleeps.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'll be in a semi-conscious trance the entire time as well, so you can count me as a halfway pair.
That sounds like what sleep is, to be fully honest with you.
It only takes 4 hours. And it's semi-conscious. Rather than fully unconscious.
So I don't need a full
CL,
night's sleep to recover
CL
my-
canonically sleeps with one eye open.
Yes.
Literally.
I feel like that does actually fit.
We
the
position
imagery.
CL by the door, and that's just enough. That'll ward people away. And CL's just like this all night.
Okay. So, in that case, let's see. This can be a quick determination, but what order are the shifts happening in? It'd be really funny if I was asking you guys all this just to freak you out and then nothing happened, nothing came of it.
That would be.
I mean,
I can take first watch
I
because
don't
I'm
like
at full health and most of my spell slots.
I'm also like totally fine, so I'll go second.
I'm out of everything. So I used everything enough.
Iggy takes a nap.
Okay, so Pine, Hatchet, CL Iggy, is that what I'm hearing? And Shepard
Yeah,
can
but
be
throw
in-
Shepard and Batsby in there somewhere.
Okay. Do you want to let the DM do that, or do you guys want to pick?
I thought Batsby was gonna. I mean, Batsby, not Catsby.
Yes, Batsby. Very different.
Totally different character, different name, different person, referencing different things. Here, I'll just randomize it. That'll make it probably.
I guess it is funny
easier.
that Batsby's not a bat.
Yeah.
Takes his name from a whole other
He
concept.
has a bat. He has a bat.
He
That's what he
has
was
a bat.
hitting. That's what he was hitting the big robot with.
It's
The lack
true.
of bat people in D&D 5e is an oversight for sure.
It is surprising. Okay, Pine.
Also, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to move on to the watches.
Oh, no, I was
just
gonna say, according to this, unless I forgot to note it at the time, I did not take any damage in the last fight, so I'm totally fine.
I was 2 weeks.
I don't think he ever
dig
attacked
up my
forward.
damage records, but
I don't think he ever attacked me. I'm pretty sure.
because you were
Did he
more on
fall
the
off a
back
roof,
line.
though?
Yeah, I was standing far away shooting fireballs at it.
Anyway,
And I got health
Pine,
potions, so I was good. Yes.
give me a perception check for your watch.
Oh man, can I get a good perception? check this game?
Just to make it clear, like CL does his 4-hour trance. After that, he would be conscious. So maybe after
Okay.
a certain point, could I just do perception checks alongside whoever's
Yeah,
on
sure.
watch?
Sure.
15 plus 2 is a 17.
A 17? All right, you do not see anything. Hatchet, give me a perception check.
Why can't I see it? There it is. That is an 8.
Another 8. I mean, yeah, you don't see anything. Whether
Right.
that's from a low roll or nothing being there, I'll leave it up to your imaginations to decide for now.
Hatchet's great at this, guys.
At this point, CL, you're probably in for the
Yeah.
watches. So we'll just do Shepard and then Batsby. I'll just do them together for simplicity's sake. So give me one as well.
Uh-huh. That was perception. That's 15.
A 15? Okay. Nothing
Yes.
going on. And then Iggy and CL, I guess.
All right.
That's an at 20.
A nat 20, all right.
I have a dirty 20.
Ooh, okay. Final. You guys, you've almost made it through the night. You guys are zoned in, ready to pay attention to any last minute things that might be going on. And since you got high, both of you, give me Arcana checks.
Ooh. That's pretty good.
That one.
Nope.
Ooh.
Damn. I got a dirty 20.
You got a dirty 20 as well. Okay, so CL. In the sort of seed light patterns of the, because we're the land of Spondylix is lit by these sort of rotating clouds of light. You do notice that the light around the room where you are staying, or the house where you are staying, does not seem to follow the same pattern as the rest. Like, you can see sort of out the window that, like, the other street, or the other houses on this street somehow get lit a little bit before the house that you are staying in is. Like, there's a sort of clouded shadow that stays over your house for just a little bit longer before vanishing and, coming to light with the rest of the morning.
Interesting.
Is that everything?
That, at the moment, that is everything. Nice and ominous.
Matt, can I float a reason why I just rolled a nat 1?
Sure.
And that was that I was not paying attention because I was doing something else.
Okay.
And I would like to maybe do that something else, which is last episode you gave me, the king gave me a box with a black thing in it that I have not investigated what it is yet.
That is true.
I would like to say that I spent the time looking at that, trying to, maybe Arcana check that, figure out what that is.
Okay, cool. Here's what I'm going to have you do. Give me a roll of whatever you want. It can be history, Arcana, investigation. Give me a roll. I will give you relevant information to that roll.
Okay. I have a 14 Arcana.
14 to Arcana. Okay, so notably, you do not sense any magic on this thing. This thing does not seem to be a magical artifact in any sense. However, there is... Actually, I'm going to have you do something weird here that will give me some more insight. Really quickly, read me your spell list. I want to know what magics you're familiar with.
Ooh.
Currently, I have Firebolt and Mold Earth as cantrips.
Okay.
Then I have Earth Tremor, Expeditious Retreat, Featherfall, and Mage Armor.
Yeah, you do not sense any magic on this thing. I mean, you could maybe argue that, like, this was somehow, like, absorbed a magical aura or was related to something magical at some point in the past, but it's not definitive enough that you can say this is a magical artifact, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
And then... Yeah, we'll have that be the roll that you do for now. But again, you can do, if you have downtime later, you can do this sort of check again with, a same roll, different roll, whatever you would like. But with that mysterious shadow over your building leaving in the morning comes as usual. Nothing seems to have gone horribly wrong. Catsby is still present. Shepherd is still present. Everything seems fine enough. And you can move on with whatever plan you are pursuing.
So the way this is going in my head, CL is extremely paranoid, having noticed this unexplained phenomenon. I picture him locked the fuck in, eyes bloodshot, even though he got all the rest he needed. So I think he'd conduct a full sweep of the house and what is surrounding it, once he notices that shadow thing.
Gotcha.
So
give me an investigation.
Into the morning. Nice. That is investigation 18.
An 18. Okay. Interesting. I'm trying to think. You have ultimately, correct me if I'm wrong about the history of how this campaign has gone so far. You would have only been in this house once, maybe twice before, right?
Yes.
Give me a history check.
Okay. That is... I think my history is the same as... 13.
A 13? Okay. You do not notice anything out of the ordinary specifically. However, you do get a sense that something is different or wrong in some capacity, but you've only been in this house once or twice before. It's kind of that thing where, if there's a weird vibe in a place, you're looking around, things sort of look like they might be different, but you can't really be sure. Something is definitely off, but given that this is not a place you are familiar with, you cannot really pinpoint exactly what. But it is in a physical sense, not like there's a weird magical aura.
So I was going to say, CL, with that scientific method, go out varying distances from the house to see if there is a place where that feeling of unease stops.
Okay, interesting. I like that method, so give me a check with advantage, because that's clever.
Any specific kind of check?
Oh, I'm sorry, investigation check.
Investigation. Woo! Good thing that was advantage. One of them was a nat 1.
Ooh.
The other one was a 17.
A 17 is much better. Yes, how do I describe this? That is the question. It is definitely localized to the house in question. If you go a block or so down, Nikhil's camera just went off. We're gonna hope he's coming back in a second. And now we switch places. You can definitely tell that it is something that is localized to the house. Everything else in the area seems relatively normal. But if you look, you said you got a 17?
Yes.
Okay. Since you are going out and looking around and going out and looking around, going out and looking around, you can tell that there is something on the roof of this house that is not present on any of the others. It's low to the roof, so you cannot make it out from the ground, but there is something on there that was not present before.
You would climb up the side of the building.
Yeah.
Slowly, like, look over the top.
If you climb up the side of the building and look over the top, resting up against, like, the chimney of this house is a very small, very nondescript little straw doll.
Ooh. I don't like that.
Horrifying.
No facial features. It's just like a little, I'm in my head, the Junji Ito stuff. I mean, it's more based in like Japanese myth, but where they're like the ones that they nail to trees for curses and stuff. It looks like that.
Yeah.
Just sitting there.
All right. I mean, like, I do an Arcana check, but I feel like it's putting some kind of curse on the house, obviously. So I don't know if I'd even get anything from an Arcana check.
It's your call.
I mean, I guess, yeah, I'll make one.
Okay.
Why not? 14.
Make me
Wait, hang on.
Oh.
Yes, I had that right. Sorry. 14.
Okay. Make me a charisma save.
Uh-oh.
That's the worst kind of save.
I'm golden at those.
My
Big
charisma's
fat
not
talent.
high. That's a 10.
A 10? Oh,
Mm. No, sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead. I think I might have something else about charisma save stuff,
that
but I'll
first.
look at that.
Check that first. In this case.
I don't think it's specifically charisma save stuff, but it's like things like charm and stuff.
Would this be considered
Which
a
I could
charm
swear.
effect? Yeah, but we gotta stop.
Sorry. I have advantage on saves against being charmed, and magic can't put you to sleep. So if it's those two specific things.
Give me an advantage on it then. I think this is a homebrew thing, but I think it's close enough mechanically I will count it as a charm effect.
Huh.
Nah, it didn't help. That was a 4 on the die. Nope. That's a 10 for a save.
Yeah, this is a toy. This the thing that you saw earlier clearly had to be big. This is a toy. There is nothing. Maybe it was Iggy's from when he was a kid. People, play around. Kids get on roofs all the time. They leave stuff everywhere. There is absolutely nothing remarkable about this thing. It's a charmingly made little doll. The construction on it is quite nice, but beyond that,
Why a charisma save?
Huh.
Oh no.
Okay, but
It's so creepy.
I don't like that at all.
okay. I have the information I'm going to get, and I'm not going to try solutions until the team is up.
hey, try solutions. The last time you investigated, you had to do a saving throw, so solutions are fun for me.
Yeah.
But again, at this point, it is in your hands. You can wait. You can do something else. Wait for the team to wake up. Over to you guys.
I think CL would not be intrusive, but would still go about this the worst way possible. So whenever you wake up, in the doorway, like leaning on the frame from the inside of it is CL. Just waiting.
You're priming us. That way we're already get our horror and terror out before we see the horrifying thing on the roof.
When you come back in, Catsby kind of looks up and goes, What were you doing out there? You went out there for like 15 minutes. I thought you had to take a pee, but that was a long time to take a pee.
So I noted that the light on our house was acting strangely, as if there was something obscuring it from the light for a split second. So I ran some scientific experiment. There's something on the roof, a doll. Some kind of little straw doll that it must be having some kind of effect, because I've only been in this house once before, but I can fucking tell that something is off. Did you move the furniture an inch, everything an inch or something?
Catsby turns to everybody else and goes, Well, he's lost it. We should move on. He was a good man. Actually, he was a pretty bad man, but I guess we'll take what we can get.
It's just. I feel a little. When you don't have a logical base, I get seasick. I don't have my sea legs right now. Till we figure out what the fuck the doll is doing. Are we bugged? Are we cursed? We can't leave until we figure it out.
We could just go set
Okay.
it on fire.
Yeah, let's get the doll, and then maybe CL will be able to calm down. Iggy, is it your doll? What are you doing here?
I have never heard of this.
Okay.
Do any of us? I don't think we should touch it.
Touching cursed
hey,
stuff's
Shepard,
usually a goddamn bad idea.
do you
What?
you have any spells that you can pick
Says
stuff
Mister
up
tries
from
to
far
shoot
away?
things. I mean, I could try and destroy it from far away. I have these.
What did you say to Shepard, Iggy?
I said, do you have any spells where you can pick something up from far away?
I can try it. I've learned a couple telekinetic base spells in my time. Most of mine are offensive. He kind of gestures at his sniper staff. Maybe I can shoot it off with like a jet of wind or something. You said it was on the roof?
I have a mage hand.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
The
Mage
roof.
hand?
It's leaning against the chimney.
Shepard is going to go out and like you see him out the window kind of like taking aim and looking around. If you want to go out and use mage hand before he does that, that's your call.
Oh no, if somebody else is going to put themselves in danger before I have a chance to, especially when it's somebody who I don't consider part of my crew, that's fine.
Fair enough. Shepard kind of out the window, you see him kind of take out his sniper staff, kind of look around, and then just sort of pause for a second, put it down, and walk back in. Turns to John and goes, "There ain't nothing up there. Hell you talking about?"
Seal clambers out the nearest window and checks.
Like the spider climbs out, twists
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing up there.
God damn. Oh God.
Seal clambers back down, gets in Ratchet's face. Smack me.
Smacks him. 100%.
Wait. I assume that hatchet was not holding back on that. Roll the d4 of unarmed strike damage.
Do you have to roll the hit first?
Nah, he was standing still. That was a willing hit, but you're going to take the damage.
That was to roll to hit. Hold on. Oh, it just says 2. I don't roll. I hit this button. It says 2.
2 damage.
Okay.
From the Minotaur, just bam!
Full flat back. Just like, okay.
I have my
I've had
horns.
this-
Those do more. If you want those.
I've had this nightmare before. Hallucinations, you don't know what's real. You can't wake up. It's... But that was real.
Okay, but
This is real.
At this point,
the
real
doll
quick,
was real.
I need everybody
gonna
to
put
make me
my
a
hand
perception
on-
check also very quick before this
Oh
happens.
Jesus.
Oh boy.
That's an 11, Matthew.
An 11,
9.
9,
15?
15,
16.
16. I will do it for Shepard and Catsby as well. Time for my favorite DM phrase once again. You don't see anything.
Sick.
Oh.
Then?
A 16 didn't. Oh my God. I'll put my hand on CL. And I'm gonna look at Iggy and be like, "Do you have food? I think this man needs some food."
Yeah. This. I mean,
Buddy,
there's probably something
CL,
around here.
CL, go get breakfast.
I'll
Calm
go
down. Eat
rustle
some
up
cereal.
some food from the larder or whatever we have here.
And then when they're doing that, I'm gonna go up to Pine and be like, "Okay, so CL's gone. Um,
On the off chance that they are right, though, and that there is a mysterious doll following us, last night's plan of go see the king still works.
love
Surely
that
they have
plan.
some anti-magic.
Always a fan of that plan. Yeah, I guess we'll wait for him to stop spiraling about things being moved 1 inch to the left, and then we'll go see the king.
Oh, we could just take him with while he spirals.
We could pick him up, I guess.
I mean,
Just
I
carry
can't.
him over there.
Tiny. But I do think, you know, we should maybe not dismiss the things that CL is seeing on the off chance that he's not completely insane.
I have been a private detective for several years, and trust me, if there was something odd about this room, I would know.
Yeah, that's fair, actually. This is like your whole job.
Exactly.
You wouldn't steer me wrong.
How crazy would it be if I didn't notice anything?
I would have no faith in your abilities as a private investigator if something was happening and you didn't notice.
I feel like we need to make a TikTok and we
not
stitch in here the I rolled an 8. All right, so you guys are heading over to the king. CL's getting breakfast. I assume anyone else who wants food can also get it.
Oh, am I? CL, are you gonna come willingly, or do you want me to carry?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
I had a piece of toast. I cleared my head. And while there is a problem I do not know anything about right now, and that does infuriate me, it's just another problem. It's fine. It's nothing we haven't faced.
Precisely.
It's just one more thing on the fucking plate.
Glad to hear you're feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
CL takes everything too seriously. Needs to chill.
Life is serious.
Look, you can't take your job so personally. You gotta just be willing to understand that it's nothing against you personally, and just kind of roll with it.
What's nothing against him personally?
The curse, I guess.
The curse is not
the
a
curse that
thing,
might be
CL.
here. It's not a personal curse. It's not. It's not cursing.
If you stand near CL, you just see him wringing his hand and singing something to himself, clearly calming himself down.
All right. And I assume that's
outside. I'm going to cast mage armor myself. That's all. Just
You're gonna
armor.
What? Oh, mage armor.
Mage armor.
Your mage armor is cast. A good preemptive move. Luckily, it is not needed. There is no immediate ambush outside of the house. And you guys are
it works for 8 hours, so.
Oh, okay. I forget how. That's a long spell. I figured it would be like an hour. Dang.
It's like getting dressed for the day, but with magical.
That's fair. Yeah. So with that, Iggy armored up for any ambushes that might come on the way. You guys make your way down to the center of Spondylix to go and meet with the king.
I love the idea of our little ragtag group walking through the streets, but one of us is just covered in armor.
I mean,
we're just strolling.
I will let you say, you can do the customization for your mage armor yourself if you want. If you want to describe how it looks in a certain way, Jake, that's your call.
Yeah, I mean, it basically, so it's not super like conspicuous. It basically looks like a duster, like a long kind of jacket, almost like a trench coat type of a thing, but it's magical, so it protects
that's
me.
Not nearly as conspicuous. I was imagining like a knight's armor, just like bobbing around.
That's not really Iggy's vibe.
Much more Harry Dresden. I love it.
I think actually, since you're armored, Catsby is going to come up to you, Iggy, like, hey, as we're walking through the more populated areas, you mind if I sort of hide on your shoulder under your jacket there? I don't know if it's a good idea to have me just sort of out and about with the murderous monsters that are going for us.
I'm cool with it.
Okay, so Catsby
just if we get in a scrape or something, just maybe help me out with like you did last time with the swords and
He holds his paw up and does a little salute and then kind of slips himself under your jacket.
He's adorable.
Now, this is going to be a fun little scene here. Pine, you have one document from the king. You are now approaching the castle. Get your meeting with the king. There are many guards kind of just milling around. There's guard outposts as you get closer to the castle. Since this is the morning, there are some like government officials and diplomats and things walking in and out of the castle and a couple surrounding buildings. No one that looks like wildly important, but you are now going through the day-to-day operations of the government at this time. I mean, but the ball's in your court for actually getting into his court.
I'm gonna just walk in that direction like I'm supposed to be there until somebody stops me, because Nothing says I'm not supposed to be here more than stopping and asking if you're supposed to be here.
Absolutely.
I agree with that in most cases, except you are walking around with so many criminals.
Are they criminals?
Well, actually, Ratch is not a criminal.
Yeah. Iggy is not a criminal.
Ratch is not a criminal. Iggy is an ex-criminal. CL definitely is. And while nobody
but
knows
CL's
Shepard here,
CL's
he is
unknown.
a cowboy with a sniper rifle.
Can I roll history to see if I know any of these people for any reason?
Yeah, sure.
Or know of them?
Yeah, I'll give you just a general, like, do you see anybody you recognize walking around?
Yeah. Why can't I find anything today? Oh, there it is. That is an 8. What the fuck?
Are you rolling digital dice or physical dice?
Digital.
Maybe go for the physical. The digital one seems to have a bias today.
Is it stuck on 8? That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, again, you see some people who's like maybe faces you've seen once or twice before, but no one that you would recognize enough to get anything out of it. Now, as you guys approach the main castle building, led, of course, by Pine, you do have to cross like a more formal guard outpost. You know, this is a castle. It's built on the big hill in the center of Spondylix. So as you sort of go up to the ramp that leads to the castle proper, there is like a gated sort of, what's the portcullis? That's the word I'm looking for. There is like a portcullis that is set up with some guards on either side of it, and like, you know, a little outpost. They do not actively like stop you as you go up there. They do not call out to you, but the gate is closed. Like, you're gonna have to approach them or find another way.
Okay, yeah. I mean, whoever looks like the person that you approach to get this gate open. I presume there's somebody standing near it, getting guard or whatever.
Yeah. There is. Let's see, would there be anyone in line? I don't think there's no one in line here at the moment. I will say, like, as you walk up, there are people who are, you know, quickly going up to the guard office, showing some papers or documentation, and then getting in every now and then. It is an active doorway, but there you are able to walk up right to that outpost. The guard, looking sort of bored and uninterested, as most of the Scalies do, as their sort of default state, kind of just looks up at you, waiting for you to present any sort of information before they say anything.
Yeah, I'm just going to say I'm performing a special investigation for the king. I have my papers here, and we need to get through.
He kind of like holds out a hand to check the paper from you, which I assume you're not letting go of from that hand gesture.
Yeah.
He's like, Can I see the papers, ma'am? Your whole
We
my
had somebody
eyesight's
attempt to
not
steal-
very good.
Somebody attempted to steal this from us yesterday, so I would like to hold on to it if you'd like to. I can hold it closer for you if you'd like.
Kind of turns around to like the enclosed guard post, because I'm not gonna steal it. I just gotta see the signature on there.
All right, fine.
He leans in, checks the signature from the king himself. He looks over it and seems a little bit confused, given the strange nature of the document that you have with some level of authority, but it does seem legitimate enough. He then looks... Actually, this is a valid question. Is everybody else, like, immediately behind you, or sort of off to the side waiting for you to get this done? That's just a general question for the room.
Behind her.
All right. If everybody's immediately behind, he kind of looks and goes, and all these people, are they part of this investigation that you're doing, ma'am?
Yes, they are in my employ.
He looks still very confused, but the documentation is legitimate. Maybe the only time in Dungeons & Dragons ever that someone has presented legitimate documentation for getting into a castle. So it does work. He signals the guards to open up the portcullis, and you guys are ushered into the castle building proper.
All right, we're in the castle.
Woo!
So, I mean, I assume I remember how to get to the King's Court because A, we went there yesterday, and B, the King's Court is usually not hard to find as the nicest place that people are typically allowed to go to.
You would be able to find the throne room pretty easily. Again, it's especially given Albinius's proclivity for being overly dramatic and pompous. It's pretty easy to find where the throne room is. The door is at the moment closed, though. Actually, I think
Like it
it
was
was
last
closed last time as well, but it is closed, and there are a couple guards standing out in front of it.
Last time we went, there was a guard that had the schedule for the king who tried very hard to pretend like that schedule was not completely empty.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a similar such person here?
Yeah, you can find. Oh shoot, this was 2 weeks ago. Was it It was not the guard. You know what? That's too pedantic to matter. Yes, you are able to find somebody who has a schedule of the king's events. You can see somebody like a secretary or an assistant standing nearby, kind of checking. Every now and then a couple people go up to them, check information, and then move on about their business.
I would like to walk up and maintain the illusion and be like, "Hello, I know the king is probably very busy today, very very busy, just like he was yesterday when we were here, when I was here with."
Of course,
you.
of course.
Uh,
Many important matters
we-
for the king to attend to.
Indeed. But we have some crucial information that he might want to know rather urgently, actually. And given the investigation that he tasked us with, I think this is actually quite an important update for him. Do you think you could schedule us in for today?
Oh, let me check the schedule. You can kind of get a glimpse of the paper that this guy is holding. It is not entirely empty this time. There are a couple things on it. Again, likely just because it was fairly late in the day when you went yesterday. There are, at least a few things happening. He goes, well, the king is, of course, very busy. Many things for the reign to attend to, but I could get you in, well, if we move some things around. You see him, like, flip the same piece of paper back and forth, trying to look like there's more than one. Because I can get you in about an hour, if that would work for you and your... Scans over the ragtag group. Associates.
That'd be perfect. Also, if you felt the need to make sure that paper looked a little more full in order to help deter people later and give you an easier time today, you could go ahead and fill out my name as many times on that sheet as you want and make sure it looks like we've met with the king so many times today.
I mean, give me a persuasion check if this is something you want to try.
Look, I'm just saying, if Valentine finds the sheet and it says the king met with us like 30 times today,
Every half hour.
every half hour.
We had like
All right,
the whole day booked.
It'll
Alright.
have the same effect as writing
14
"Pine was here" in crayon on the sign-in sheet.
Yeah.
That's a total of a 17.
A 17. I'll do, I guess, an insight comparatively. Okay, sure. You're not going to get the whole day, but you do see that this guard blocks out like a good 3 or 4 hours after you, like the block of time that has been marked out for your appointment is much longer than it reasonably will likely go.
All right. We will go wait in. I assume you have food for guests?
Oh, yeah, yes, there's a waiting room over there. Gestures to a door on sort of one of the side hallways.
Excellent. We'll wait there. And as I kind of walk past my own crew, I'll just be like, that should piss Valentine off.
Okay, if you guys go through and enter the waiting room, more for the sake of comedic effects rather than anything else, give me a perception check on this waiting room that you have entered.
19.
Also 19.
Hey!
Hey.
It's the third perception check in a
That
row.
is-
I've had the same roll
That
as
is a
everybody else.
nat 1. I'm gonna get my physical dice.
At this point, I would. So as you guys go into this room, you can see that this... how do I phrase this? You are looking at quite a surprisingly lavish green room. There's food, and there's very, comfortable chairs and seating. Obviously lots of places for guests to wait, but also for guests to talk to each other, as this would be a place where a lot of high profile people can network, as they all know the king and get things done. Or at least it probably was that 3 or 4 years ago. Doesn't look like anyone has really used this since. Meetings with the king have no reason to be made. They're not walk-ins. They're not walk-ins with the way that the king currently runs the administration. So there's some stuff that has not been attended to for quite a while. You see, there's... How stupid do I want to get with this? If you look around behind a chair, there's like tucked very badly behind it. There's a bong where seemingly some of the guards go on their off breaks since they know no one's ever going to be using this room. But yeah, this is where you are able to stay for the next hour. You can wait if you would like. It is entirely on you guys.
I would like to examine the thing again while we're waiting in this room for an hour.
All right, go for it. Pick a roll, see what you get.
Yeah. Well, actually, can I just pull it out and show it to Shepard?
Oh, yeah. You pull this thing out, you show it to Shepard. He is kind of just looking around the room, very uninterested, sort of waiting for, something to happen, and then he looks over at you holding that. He goes, I thought I understood what the hell was going on, and now I am even more confused. Where did you get one of those?
So the last time we were here, the king gave it to me for killing that mining robot. And I've been trying to I've been like, trying to sense if it was a magical thing, and I'm getting kind of nothing. But I thought, weird stuff's been going on, and you're not from around here, and I thought maybe you knew what it was.
Yeah, I ain't from around here, neither is that thing. Give it here.
I do.
Still very confused. He kind of pokes at it a little bit, taps it, and then, not having any luck with that, looks around the room, goes, I don't know if this is going to be an effective method. Anybody got any lightning spells around here? Not that big one that you shot through the building pine. Something smaller scale?
It's the only thing I've got.
Electricity?
Can't say I've got anything.
Oh my god, I know what this is.
This thing ain't going to do jack shit without a charge in it, so...
Oh.
Is it a
one of those.
goddamn cell phone?
Is it actually a phone?
what
I
I
saw the
think.
chat blowing
It's
up
an
about
iPhone.
earlier. That's
What I
crazy.
think it is.
I mean, yeah, Shepard he's not more forthcoming with information other than that. You can ask him any questions you like, but he's not going to do anything without a charge. Where'd you say you got this again?
The king gave it to me.
Did he know what it was, or did he just hand it over to you? Because,
It's hard to tell.
look, I haven't
He
met
did
this
say it seemed
king.
cool.
Look, the way I see it, there's one of two options here. Either one, this thing belonged to someone else from up where I'm from, got dropped down here, and it ended up with the king as some sort of weird curio. That would be weird, but the alternative is that he knows what it is, in which case that's a little bit worse, because that means he's more involved than we thought.
What is it?
So, you guys have phones down here? You guys know what that is? Phone?
A made up word.
It's not. It's just a
No.
different. It's not. All words are made up. It's like you got, what do they have in the weird fancy book? You got like sending stones or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like that, but much better. And
It's a communication device?
among other things, yeah, it's a communication device. I don't know if it gets any. How do I put this in a more magical sense? The way we do communication up on the surface where I'm from is that we got these little waves. They go out of one place and then they go through the sky and then they go into another. Maybe it is goddamn magic. Hell if I know. I don't know if they're going to reach down here because we're way under the surface. But if we can get some electricity bouncing around in this thing, we can maybe find out who it belongs to.
Wild.
Can I
Could
look in the
I?
case to see if there's a charger?
Hold on.
Could I?
I assume there's nothing else in there.
No, there's nothing. It's just the
Okay.
just the phone. And I guess if you're looking around, it is. I'll say this: the box that it was given to you in was not a phone box. This was like a box that it was. The box is not connected. It was put in a box separately. So
Right.
yeah.
I mean, I assume.
No. That's good to ask, but just to give you that information.
But and maybe this isn't the right check, but could I make a nature check to see, to basically have my character try to reason out if there are any sources of electricity, magic or no, that would be in or around the castle?
Yeah, sure. And again, you can do whatever check you want at any time if it's for information. It's a mystery campaign. Go for it.
I need a key and a kite and to tie them together.
There's no wind.
Or weather.
13.
A 13. Around the castle, probably not. I mean, other than there are definitely spells that use magic. And then, or spells that use magic. Spells that use electricity was what I meant to say. Most spells do use magic, from my understanding. There are some spells that use electricity. You could probably find someone who knows a more minor one that you could possibly use. Some machinery also does use electricity-based magic, though the person who has the best grasp of that is Dr. Clock. So take that as you will. If you expanded your search outside the immediate castle area, maybe you could find something. This is a fantasy world. Maybe there's some monsters that use electricity in their hunting. But immediately around you, no.
What about the light helmet? Is that not electricity?
Oh,
Javis has it.
Yeah, Javis has that.
Javis has it, and also it was, you don't know. You know it was magic-based, but you're not sure what was, quote-unquote, powering that. And also, yes, Javis did not give that back.
Also, you are very quiet.
Yeah, your audio dipped in the last couple of seconds.
Of course it did. Nothing's easy.
If we can't get it, I can turn you up individually. But
how are we feeling now? Yes, no?
It's a little better. Here, I'll just well, you're actually already almost at max. I'll turn it up a little bit, see if that helps on the recording.
I have you at 200%, and it's like a soft, quiet speak.
We'll work with it.
Hello?
That was a little better.
Hello?
Oh, yeah, there
There
you
you
go. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
And chat, also, on your end, it might be a little bit different. So if there's audio levels, let us know, and we can fix them on the fly. No immediate electricity that you're, instantly aware of around the castle, but there are sources you could go to maybe investigate.
What a fascinating detail.
It'd probably be safe to consult a royal mage or some kind of... There's got to be someone with know-how in the castle that wouldn't...
The king...
Or someone with a spell, I mean. Not with know-how, necessarily.
The king gave you this device.
Right. Yeah.
And we're about to see him. So we'll just wait and we'll ask him.
Yeah. It actually may be advantageous to tell the king about Shepard's strange surface world.
No, I would prefer we did not do that. I have not heard the most favorable things about this man.
IQ's lovely. I mean, as long as you're a reptile, he's lovely.
He's racist?
He's racist. The king was
definitively mammalian, but thank you.
Time. Oh my god. Is Batsby Matt, did Batsby come with us?
I mean, actually, that's a good question. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. Batsby did not come because Batsby is more actively a criminal, so I don't think he's gonna walk into the cops' base.
That's fair.
He is like the beat up guys on the street kind of criminal. So no, he did not come with you to cop base.
Probably smart.
Very smart, but unfortunate for us.
Unfortunate for you.
I mean, I'm a reptile. It's fine.
Are kobolds reptiles?
Yeah. Kobolds are basically tiny dragons. They're little wingless dragons.
Good to know. I never thought of a dragon being a reptile either, but I guess that is the only answer for what a dragon is.
Big lizards with wings and fire breath.
I think of it more as chicken adjacent.
So Does anyone want to invest? Or yeah, I know a royal mage was mentioned. You have a little bit of time. It's probably only been like 5
unrelated
minutes.
Unrelated to the phone thing, Hatchet does want to just kind of root around and investigate.
I mean, you find that bong again. the main thing that you find if you're rooting around there, I'm not even going to make you roll for it. Like, this room is very not often used. Most things that are like quote unquote not supposed to be here are crap that is left by guards who use this as a sort of unofficial break room. There is no helpful information to be found.
There's a bong. I missed that entirely. I'm so sorry. I stepped away at one point. I don't know if it was that.
No, there was a bong hidden behind a chair. It's not a very
Hatchet's
good break room.
Is anyone in the room with us?
No, definitely not.
Hatchet's gonna smash that bong.
There are
Smash
now
figuratively or literally?
No,
These
like,
poor
literally,
guards.
He's gonna break it.
Man, they got a fucking tedious job where they stand around all day. They can't do it, huh?
No
you know what? 30 seconds after you smash that bong, the door flies wide open and 2 guards come in, and one of them's like, yeah, no, I put it behind the... Oh, citizens! Hello? Just wanted to make sure everything's fine in here. You all good?
We're doing good.
Hey, do you know lightning spells?
What?
Do either of you know a lightning spell?
Is that a metaphor for anything that may or may not be hidden behind a chair?
Nope.
Good. Will...
Hatchet's like staring at their eyes to see if they're red.
Well, they're not now.
I know, but that's just what he's like.
They would have been if you hadn't smashed their bong. They just kind of look at you standing behind the chair. Just, okay, well, we'll good to see everything's okay in here. Have fun with your meeting, and then they just sort of back out of the room.
Real quick, how much would a bong cost in this world?
I mean, this is a question that I am so ill-equipped to answer. I don't know how much they cost in real life.
$4,000.
$4,000.
$4,000 bomb.
4,000
The
US
creme
dollars,
de la
which you have
creme.
no idea how that converts into fantasy money. That's my cop-out answer.
Okay. I was gonna try to leave them some cash hidden in the room to replace it with because I feel bad for these guys.
You can hide just a note.
Well, you don't have to
broke your bong and put it back in the...
Well, the question here is, would Pine know how much a bong costs in this world?
This is such a derail, but you can roll me a history check.
Yeah.
Well, you introduced the bong. Now I'm very interested in everything we can explore.
I'm very interested in the concept of agriculture in general that we've now arrived at.
Yeah.
25?
Like,
That's the best roll.
Iggy has mushrooms out behind his place. Not that
that's
kind of
true.
mushroom, but
Food
they
mushrooms.
definitely exist.
Food mushrooms.
But there's a difference between a mushroom, which can grow like in the ground, and then like weed. Like weed takes effort to cultivate.
Who said it's weed?
Someone's out there.
It's magic fantasy Dungeons and Dragons drugs.
Underground
With weed
weed
in it now.
equivalent.
This show's never been kid friendly, but oh well. What did you get, Jess?
A 25.
Oh yeah, you know that exact like make. You know who made that.
The fanciest bong of all time.
It was made by an alchemist.
Nope.
See, it is a fantasy thing. There's an apothecary who makes these for medicinal purposes.
Perfect. We'll file this under things that Matt briefly mentioned and didn't expect us to latch onto: bongs and Batsby's.
Bongs and Batsby's!
Oh, I don't think we can make that one the show title, and hopefully we'll have a better one. But maybe that's the after show title.
CL will... we're done with the bog thread. So CL will talk to Iggy. I think it would be advantageous to consult a royal mage for an electric spell, because finding out what this is before a meeting with the king, any information we can have. You know, you understand things. Out of everyone on the team, you get logic. Yes?
Yeah, I don't know how much time we have before, if we have enough time to do that, but I'm game.
I'll cut
It'll
in
be
there
quick.
to give you more info if you want it. It has again been like probably like 10 minutes at most. So I would say you have time to at least look around because you're in the castle. Like if there's somebody here, it's in like this building or the next one. So if you want to now, you do have time to do that.
It's a lightning spell, Iggy. How long could it take? 30 minutes?
Same energy. How
mean,
much
if I
does a
knew-
banana cost? $10?
Exactly what I was going for.
You nailed it. Good job.
If I knew, I mean, I'd do it.
I mean, we may as well look. Quick zap. We find out what the box does.
I assume that Shepard gave it back to me.
Actually, no. He still has it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still holding it.
Hey, can I have that? The king gave that to me. Can I have it back?
He looks skeptical for a moment. He does hand it back to you, though, but as he does, he goes, if you're going to turn this thing on, I'm coming with you.
I put it back in the box. Put the box back in my coat. For now.
All right. So if people are going to try and find a mage to get this thing charged up, you can split the party if you want. You can all go. This is, again, you have like 45 minutes. This is all in ball in your court with how you want to do this.
Do we know what we're waiting for explicitly?
I mean, with the king.
Yeah, unless Pine has told you.
Like, why is it 45 minutes?
Oh, there were some minor meetings today. You got just penciled in your walk-in meeting for an hour from when you arrived. That's not like any fancy stuff. The guy who was the attendant at the door set your meeting up for an hour from now.
Okay, then I'll go with them for their charging adventure.
I'm gonna stay right here just in case, because all of us not being in the waiting room when time comes feels like potential to make a mistake. So I will let you guys have your adventure.
All right.
All right.
So, well, no, I'm not going to say that. We'll get there when we get there. You guys head out of the waiting room. None of you have been in the castle before, so here we go.
Iggy had.
Oh, well, yeah, that is true. You have. I guess I should say.
Yeah.
No, none of you have been in the castle at large before. None of you are familiar with the castle's workings.
We're just looking for a mage. Just go around asking people, "Hey, you got lightning?"
I mean,
like games on your phone.
I think it'd be good to check maybe a wing with a library or something. Academic folk. Thinkers, magicians.
All right. So you guys start. I assume I'll assume you're asking like a guard where a library would be, and not just wandering around the castle and hoping to find one. Which maybe that second option would be funnier, but I'll assume that we don't have to play through that. Yeah, you ask a guard where the actually, if you just ask like the attendant outside the door, they won't question you. So yes, they direct you to a library. It's out in like, if this is structured like a castle, there's the keep. You have to go like out into the courtyard, and then there's like a side building, but it's a very short walk. So you go over there into a very grand library, much like a lot of the castle itself. It's a little bit run down. But I would also say that compared to the rest of the castle, this area is probably in some of the best condition, as most of like the outskirts of the city is like D&D fantasy levels of literate, that being to say not very. So this is probably like the main library in the city, and therefore the people who actually care do keep it up fairly nicely compared to everything else around. It's a couple stories, big grand fantasy library. You have the image in your head. Whatever you're thinking is probably pretty close.
Okay. That's interesting that most people aren't literate.
That's not like an active plot point. This is just, medieval fantasy times. Like, people are not going to be going and actively looking for like books and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's people milling around. If you want to look for somebody or look for somebody specific or ask somebody.
I do. I really
go
want to
ahead.
go up to someone and just be like, "Hey, you got lightning?"
You're
My
just gonna,
buddies are looking. My
you
buddies are
holding?
looking for some lightning. Any chance you got some lightning?
let me give me just a flat D20 luck check.
16.
16? Okay, that's not horrible. So you go up to a random passerby, someone, we'll give you, since you got the 16 on luck, someone who is wearing like a little bit fancier robes, probably someone with some level of magical capability. Just ask if she knows or if she's got any lightning. She kind of looks up from her book.
Not exact lightning.
What? Is that a drug?
No, it's like electricity,
Like
magic.
like literal lightning?
Yes. Can you control, summon, use whatever? That lightning.
I mean, I'm just an apprentice. I don't think I have any of those spells yet. I could look through. She starts kind of flipping through the book in her hands, which seems to be like an entry-level spell book kind of thing. There might be a cantrip in here somewhere, but nothing I've tried. There are more qualified people to ask, I'm sure.
Who would one of those people be?
Well, you could go and see one of the professors around here. I think there's a couple of them up in investigating some things, doing some research up on the second floor. I passed one of my professors a couple minutes ago.
Okay. Investigating sounds fun, and I'll take whatever she just wrote.
She wasn't writing anything. She was looking through her textbook.
Oh, you were okay.
Yeah, she was flipping through it.
Right.
I just imagine you just take her textbook and leave.
Take her.
Wait, actually, that's not bad either.
It is bad. I would not do it.
Well, no, I won't. But it's funny. But no, I'll go up and tell them that there's someone on the second floor that could help us, allegedly.
I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you get a description of this person first. Yeah. Hatchet returns. Apparently there's some sort of professor up on the second floor doing some research who might be able to help you a little bit. I'm definitely not looking for a name for a character very quickly. I'll do that as we go. So are you guys just going and looking for this mysterious
We can
professor?
either go with him or we can stay at the library if anyone wants to.
Yeah, let's do it.
Your audio, Nikhil, is also dipped a little bit again.
Jesus! Let me talk.
If you shout into the mic, the level is good. So just keep doing that for the next 2 hours. And
Do this forever.
Then you'll be on par for the quality of audio that you're going to get with the King scene, because everyone loves him. He's their favorite character to listen to.
I love
Never
that
heard
game.
him still.
Oh yeah,
Me
you
neither,
haven't. That'll be
ironically.
a fun new experience for you guys.
True.
Okay, let's see. You know what? Random D&D race. This one said, I just googled random D&D race, and the top result on Google is random 5e race table, excluding the lame ones. And
Good.
Ew.
that feels...
Fuck the lame ones.
I don't know what that means, and I'm not really vibing with the implications of that, so we're not going to use that one.
Yeah.
Which ones are the lame ones?
Maybe like human.
Another topic for the after show. Someone remind me, and we'll go through excluding the lame ones in the after show. Oh, but I actually love. Oh, that audio is a little bit better.
Okay.
I do actually like what this other generator spit out, which is a Furbolg. I like Furbolgs. We haven't had one of those in, I think, any D&Dorks yet. Maybe a very minor thing, if memory serves. So yeah, there's an old but now I have to pronounce it every time. Furbolg woman. Again, very wearing like fancy wizard robes. You know what? Let's do the whole 9 yards. Very like pointy wizard hat, kind of hunched over. Got like the scholarly glasses, poring over a couple books at a desk. This is very clearly the person whose description has been given to you.
Right. I'm gonna just go up and be like, "Hello, nice to meet you. I hear that you can control someone or do something with lightning. We need your assistance, please. Thank you."
Okay. After this gigantic minotaur just kind of walks up and goes, "Hello, I heard you know lightning." This very small cow woman, because it's just cow to cow communication, looks up and goes, "Oh, excuse me, Sonny, what was that? You're going to have to speak up."
I heard you know lightning.
You hear the collective shushing of like 7 different people on the second floor of the library as you
CL is also shushing.
We have need of your services. And then I'm like snapping for the phone to be brought up for this conversation.
All right.
Did someone break the
I
phone up?
take it out of my coat, open the box. I'm not going to hand it to Ratch, though.
Fair. Just walk
we have
forward.
something that is activated by lightning, we think.
This woman kind of looks over and goes, "Oh, is that all? I can do that for you here." She holds up her hands, and this massive ball lightning just starts crackling in between. It goes, "Okay, hold still."
Is Shepard with us?
No, at Iggy holding out the thing, Shepard very quickly holds out his staff and goes, No. We are. God damn! Everyone down here is insane. Now, a little tiny bit of lightning. No need for any of that. Just he kind of like tries to grab the phone from you. I assume you let him take it, but if you want to hold on to it, that's your call.
Yeah, sure.
So he kind of takes it out, and he holds up like a little notch in the bottom. Just a little bit, tiny, not a huge ball of stuff, just right in the port there. And at which point this woman takes the thing and kind of investigates it, and then shoots like a little arc of lightning out of the tip of her finger into the port of the strange cube. At which point it vibrates in her hand. Well, not cube, but at which point it vibrates in her hand, and she drops it. She's like, "Oh, is that what it does? I've not seen one of these before."
Vibrates.
Poor woman.
I mean, I don't know if that's what it does.
It
Does it do anything else?
It does a lot of things. Shepard snatches it off the table and starts tapping at it. When he this is going to be a fun description to do. When he taps at the surface of this shiny black box, it suddenly lights up and sound starts coming out of it. Incredible! Some of the most powerful magic you've ever seen.
What?
Everyone shushes Detective Hatchet a second time. He goes, Shepard just kind of runs, guys. Okay, there's a password on it, but this is the kind of thing I can deal with. It's going to take me a little bit to crack. He kind of keeps tapping at it as you're standing there.
Try 7.
He looks up at you incredulously, and then you see him just kind of look down and just tick. Why did I do that? There's no way. Shut up.
I like that he tried it though. That's nice of him.
He tried it. He's had a hard day. But he keeps kind of tapping at this thing. I don't suppose there's any sort of magic you guys can use to uncover. You got divination magics and stuff down here. Anything you can use to uncover secret info? I can try to myself. It wouldn't be the first time.
If we can find who we think would know, I can use truth spells.
Okay, that ain't bad, actually. You said you got this from the king?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess we just got to find out who he got it from, that, or I can just crack it myself. But it's powered on now, and that ain't too bad. It's got a decent charge. These models hold it for a while, so should be good. Thank you, ma'am, for your services.
Yes, thank you very much, ma'am.
Shepard, so when the king gave it to me, it seemed like the guards that he told to go get it knew at least where it came from, because there was kind of a back and forth a little bit, and then So the guard that handed it to me didn't want to give it up, it seemed like. He kind of held on to it for longer than, it wasn't like presented to me like a king would present a gift. It was almost reluctant from the guard, so we might not have to ask the king directly.
That does complicate things a little bit. I'm glad you remembered. So the king just gave it up willingly, though. He just sort of, from what I've heard about this king so far, he doesn't seem like the type to think things through, but if he's not the one pulling the strings, well, that seems to line up enough with what we've heard. Hopefully, our dear friend Pine can coax a little bit more information out of him. But this is your area, not mine. You think we should let them know that we brought this in, keep it a secret when we go into the meeting room? You were there, not me.
I believe what Iggy was getting at is that there's a strong possibility the guards, for whatever fucking reason, used this device and may know the passcode.
Or know where it came from.
Or
know where it came from, at least.
Nikhil, your audio is
unhearable
right now.
Can you seriously not hear me?
I could hear speaking. I could not parse a single word. It was like a whisper.
Oh, my lord. I was saying, can we get a time check on the hour?
Nope.
We're about to meet.
He asked for a time check on the meeting.
Oh, time check on the meeting. Oh, you've probably got, you went out of the building into an adjacent building. I don't imagine that this interaction took more than 15 minutes. So you've probably got, play it safe, 20, 25 minutes. But you will have to get back, but, that is included in the 25, so.
Is there any urgency to getting this done before we just meet with the king and can ask him?
That is up to you as to what information, like, the question now is very much, what information do you think the king knows? And if he doesn't know something, what information do you want to give him? Or let him know that you know? So, ball's in your court here.
And also, if you guys don't come back, I have no problem being left alone with the king.
That is true.
Pine did cause no problems for no one ever anywhere.
You do have the practicality of leaving Pine on her own aside. Pine is probably the person who is most qualified to convince the king of whatever. So that is something.
I/CL would be interested in asking the guards, because why would they have any context as to what this is? That is very strange.
That is.
Honestly, you're a pretty convincing guy when you want to be. I'm sure you could get something out of him.
Literally fucking a frame from the Grinch, like absurdly long figure. Me? A diplomat?
Diplomats are scum.
Oh, no, it's so loud.
Oh, is it loud now?
No,
is it too loud now?
It's because I turned it up. It's because I turned it up on my end. I fixed it now. Now it should be more balanced.
We're gonna get kicked out of this library.
Yes. All right, then I can lead whatever negotiation we're trying to make with this guard.
What guard? Do we have a guard, or we're gonna go get a guard?
Well, we got to get a guard. I don't know if you were able to recognize the specific guard, or at least if we could pick out who the retinue that would typically be in the throne room would be.
Would it not just be the guy that led us to the waiting room?
Well, they have shifts, surely. The meeting was yesterday. I don't know their work schedule.
It was one of the guards in the throne room. I don't remember specific. Well, Iggy might remember, but I don't remember specifically because I didn't see his face in real life or anything.
Yeah, you can do I did not give a specific description of this guard. If you want to roll a history check to see if you could identify him on sight, you can go ahead and do that.
Sure. History. 15.
A 15? Yeah, you could probably identify this guy. Not 100% guaranteed, but you have seen him enough, and it was like you remembered that he had the reaction, so his face is still in your memory for that.
Okay.
Of course, there are a lot of guards milling around, so you don't know if they'll
Right.
be, again, on the same shift like you mentioned.
Well,
But
I,
if
I
one
just-
used it,
I guess I'm constantly scanning any guards that we pass, like looking for this guy. I don't know if you want me to just keep rolling investigation checks or
give
what
me-
you want me to do.
Give me just a passive
uh,
investigation check to see how that, or do that off the start.
Could I also
That's a
roll an
16.
investigation?
you don't know what it looks
Yeah,
like.
this is an investigation specifically to find the guy that Iggy recognizes who you have not seen.
Fair enough.
16.
16? Okay. If you pass this
Yeah.
guard, you will recognize if you pass, but we'll see if, that remains to be seen if that happens. So, are you just milling around the castle trying to find this guy, or are you heading back to the waiting room and scanning on the way?
I think we should head back. I think we're going to be meeting
Yeah,
with the king.
we-
anyway.
I mean,
We would head
that's where he
back.
was stationed before, was in the throne room. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'd probably
Right.
head back, maybe make a detour in an area where it would be likely guards going to and from the throne room might be milling about.
Okay, cool.
They're kind of
I'm
walking
going to do a
paths.
check to see how Shepard's progress on the device is going. Actually, quite
Would
well.
Shepard not just get locked out?
You don't know Shepard's background? Shepard's some sort of mercenary. He probably has experience in this.
I mean, no amount of experience is going to stop 3 wrong tries
It's
from
just
blocking you
brute
out
force.
of
He
your
also
iPhone.
he
One,
has
one,
a
one.
he has a magic
1, 1,
wizard
1, 2.
staff. Like he probably has I'll say if you look over at him, he is like using some sort of other device that he has on his person to
I
mess with.
fully
this.
was thinking that he was just like
No,
1, 2, 3,
No.
4.
He is
1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 6.
he is like a mercenary from the surface world. He has stuff for this. He's not just brute forcing the like 6-digit passcode. Okay, but you guys head back to the throne room. You've got like 5 minutes before the meeting. So if you want to brief anybody in that 5 minutes, feel free to do so. I also think this is probably a good place to take our bathroom break. So if anyone wants to brief anything now, do that. Then we'll take our break and go into the meeting.
I would say that we just tell Pine
Yeah.
what just went down.
I figured that was
We
going
don't
to
have
be
to
the
repeat
case.
it. It just happened. But
Cool.
yeah.
That sounds good.
All right, Pine has been briefed. The device is getting unlocked, and you guys are about to go into a meeting with the king for the first time for half of you and the second time for half of you. We are going to take a quick bathroom break. I am going to make sure that I am well stocked up on water and well
Drink some
hydrated
tea or
before we meet King Albinius again. And we will be back in just a couple of minutes, so do not go anywhere. And we are back. I have my drink to lubricate my throat for everyone's favorite character.
I have my drink to lubricate my character.
Multiple people knew what I was going to do and got alcohol while we were in our break. Okay. So the meeting is time for the meeting with everyone's favorite boy. Anyone have anything to say before you head in? Or
A final prayer, I guess.
mm-hmm.
I think I'm just gonna say to everyone, hey, really quickly, don't respect or don't insult the king's authority. Make sure to insinuate and mention the very true fact that Valentine did insult the king's authority and intelligence. We'll be fine.
Real quick, when you said earlier that the king was very nice to the reptiles, is there any specific biases we should be aware of before going in?
It just came up briefly. He referred to me as a good, trustworthy reptile, which is just so many red flags in the year.
But we don't know if there's like we don't know if he's like anti-Babel, is what I'm trying to get at here.
Oh, he doesn't seem.
I mean, he also referred to Pine as young man, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a little hard of seeing, maybe. I just decided not to correct the king because that's how you die.
I wouldn't use the phrase hard of seeing. I would use the phrase hard at living, maybe. At this
I'm
point,
excited.
it's pretty much all of them. All right, but
Part of existing.
with everybody briefed on some things to expect in this meeting, you guys head out of the room. You are taken to the large doors. As happened last time, there was a big, fanfare as the doors are pushed open, leading into this opulent throne room. The heralds toot their little entry song on their trumpets. There are not many people in this throne room as there were last time. There are actually, I would say, a couple more people milling around having conversations in the sort of back sides of things, but they all seem to be government officials discussing various business. However,
none of them are Valentine.
Let me finish, Jess.
Oh, okay.
Let me finish my description of this throne room, Jess. And up on the pedestal where King Megaronides Albinius' throne is sitting, the king himself is, of course, on the center. He is the oldest lizard that you have ever seen in your life, resembling more of a shed lizard skin than an actual person. But he is there. He is surrounded by several guards. Notably, I will add to Iggy, the same guard that you saw last time is still present. And standing off to the side, kind of leaning against a pillar, is, as I'm sure everyone can guess, from Jess jumping the gun a little bit, everyone's favorite asshole, Valentine himself, overseeing some things and providing, diplomatic advice, as is their very legitimate job. But
the diplomat's job is to stand next to the king and then just give.
Hence why I
there's
couch that with the
other
very
diplomats.
legitimate in there. This is not he's a criminal. He's a criminal. Anyway, the door's open.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, when I see that the same guard that I saw before, I want to kind of elbow CL and get his, look over it's the guy.
Communicate that info.
He knows. Yeah.
Are you doing that actively, secretly? I guess I should say Shepard is also looking out for that. Are you going to let Shepard in on that as well? Or, because I was going to say, are you doing it secretly? But I assume you're doing it secretively so that the guards don't notice.
Yeah, I mean, I think I could do it. I mean, I don't think they'd have the context.
That is
to
true.
know. I'd do it in a way where Shepard and CL, who know what they're looking for, would know what I'm doing, but I don't think it would look like anything to anybody else. At least that's my theory. I can roll deception or something if you want me to, but
I think this is a big enough room. I think you can do that subtly as you walk in without being, immediately clocked. So,
would I be able to whisper to them in that case? If we can get Valentine talking, they may be distracted enough that we could pull this off in this room if you give it to me. I'm very light of foot. Is that okay?
Give you the phone. Give you the thing.
Give me the phone. I will talk to the guard. Hopefully it will be solved discreetly.
Hey, I discreetly pass him the phone.
All right.
And
I am going to have you do a sleight of hand check for that, actually. If you're passing off the
makes sense.
The box that would be recognized, I'll have you do a sleight of hand check there.
Should I also roll sleight of hand or just Iggy?
I'll say Iggy's doing the handoff. It'll be easier for you to describe it, so we'll say just Iggy's doing it.
Okay.
Oh, what's my modifier? Let's see. Okay, good. 17.
17. All right. Noted. I'll do some perception checks as they're needed, but 17 will be noted. So, you guys come into the throne room, and much like last time, I believe 2 weeks ago, I described it as the king essentially waiting for you to speak, and I assume that's not going to be an issue for Pine specifically, so...
I am. That's very true. So, I'm going to walk in, and I'm just going to go... Your Majesty, it is wonderful to see you. And Valentine, it is wonderful that you're here too.
Oh, you two know each other. That's wonderful. It's always nice to see that my underlings are familiar with each other.
Yes, my liege, Valentine came to visit us last night. And this is where I'm a little confused. He said that, they said that we need to have them look over the order that you wrote because you were a little senile and that maybe you had made lots of mistakes, and that can't be right because I mean you're the king, and so I just wanted to get this whole situation straightened out.
Give me a deception check right off the bat.
That's not a lie.
There. That's exactly what happened.
That's the truth.
I mean, I get all right. Fair.
You
Give
did-
me a,
you
give
said
me a
that.
persuasion check. The word senile, I do not believe would do, but maybe I did. I don't remember my exact wording. So go.
I mean,
give,
that's
senile,
just
but
give me a,
that's just
no. Give me a persuasion check. You're right. That's fair.
that's charged rhetoric. That's persuasion.
That's fair.
Does a
Also,
dirty
could
20
I?
A what?
work? Dirty 20?
Oh, I thought you said
17.
35, and I was like,
No.
Jesus.
that'd be
That'd
that's a
be
Pathfinder
impossible.
roll.
Could I also roll insight on Valentine to see how much that aspersion may have irked them?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that's not great. That's a 6.
A 6. Okay. I actually will give you some information on that though. You noticed Valentine's like eye twitches and various little ticks in the interaction from last night. You're not seeing any of those.
Interesting.
Valentine, in fact, actually kind of chuckles a little bit just under their breath, but does not respond. When you say this, though, King Megaronides Albinius leans forward and squints at you very aggressively. Goes, "Well, that doesn't seem right. I don't think, because you were here. You were here last Valentine. You were here last night, right? Was I thinking of a different night? I think it was last night." And then Valentine kind of goes, yes, my lord. I was here, of course. We were discussing the expansion plan for the road system in the farther reaches of the east. Just various, political nonsense. But then King Albinius cuts him off and goes, "Yeah, well, that can't be true because Valentine was here. Who are your friends, little kobold? I remember the gray one."
Yep.
Hello, Your Highness. My name is Investigator Rat Jacket.
Sorry, one more. Say that again.
My name is Investigator Rat Hatchet. Yes. The man next to you is a criminal, and you would do better if you did not let him stand so close to you.
He looks at the guard on the other side and goes, "He's what?"
Well, I don't know about him specifically. I could look into it for you.
This
That's
man-
kind of the thing.
I'm
talking-
One of the guards, like, end the conversation. One of the guards kind of comes up and puts a hand on the accused guard's shoulder, and you see him just kind of, "Just go with it. Just come." And he gets sort of ushered out.
I was more talking about Valentine.
"Oh no, Valentine is great. We go way back.
They are a criminal.
Who are you again?"
Inspector Ratch Hatchet.
He kind of turns again to one of the guys and goes, have I ever met a rat hatchet? I remember the kobold. I had the kobold. They brought me the information about the crime that was happening, and then there was the gnome that was with them. I was helpful. And then who's the elf? The shady, the scary one. Who are you? And the one with, there's so many people in here. Haven't been any people in here in a while.
Ciel Subeto, my liege. It is an honor I never thought I would experience.
Oh, I like this one. This one knows how to show respect.
I'm warning you of traitors in your midst is respect.
Yeah, but you could do it with a little flair.
And of course, our friend here is a diplomat from a foreign area.
Shepard
This
kind
is
of
Shepard.
tips his hat, Your Majesty. And then Shepard, the king kind of looks at him and goes, "I don't know who you are, where you're from, but I like your hat. So I guess that gets you some points." All right, Pine, what are you here for? The Minotaur said some crazy stuff, but I trust you.
Thank you. You said Valentine was with you all night last night?
Yes, we were discussing some very boring nonsense. No offense, Valentine. I'm sure it was very important. but it was very boring.
In that case, Valentine, there may be somebody impersonating you around town.
At this, Valentine steps forward and goes, "Really? Well, do tell. That is, of course, a matter of great concern, if the case."
Yeah, there was a person who showed up at our place of work and demanded to rewrite the king's orders and made a huge stink about very disrespectful to the king, talking about him being, not all there and a bit of a mess. Things that obviously are not true, my liege, and that you would never say.
Well,
so
I can assure you that it wasn't me. I mean, if it was, that would be absolutely shocking.
Yeah.
Matt, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, can I cast Zone of Truth outside of combat?
You can cast any spell whenever. Spells are not combat specific.
I ask because it says magical zone that guards against deception, yada yada yada, until the spell ends. A creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn. So, how does it work outside of combat?
It just kind of happens. It functions the same way. It's just on a turn is just a combat specific wording, but it still functions. Just anyone who enters. How do I phrase this? Outside of combat, just take phrases like on a turn out of it. Someone who enters the zone.
I'm gonna cast Zone of Interest right now.
Okay.
So
what's the radius and where and
it's a 15-foot radius sphere, and it's a 15 charisma save.
A 15 charisma save. And are you just casting this up on the pedestal where the throne room is?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay. I mean, if this will be interesting. A couple rolls need to be made here. Good. What was the DC?
15.
All right. 15. Okay. Read. Is Zone of Truth is a visible spell, I would think, right? I'm not actually sure. Read me the exact description of that spell.
It's for components. It says V and S. Is V visible?
V is verbal. I'm
verbal. Okay.
Yeah. They know you're casting it. My question is more I actually don't know this. So people in chat.
I'll read it.
Yeah,
I'll read it out loud.
Read it for me because I'm curious about one specific aspect of this.
You create a magical zone that guards against deception in a 15-foot radius sphere centered on the point of your choice within range. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there must make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, a creature can't speak a deliberate lie while within that radius. You know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw. An affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie.
Is aware. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
If they can also supposed to know if they pass or failed.
Yes, that was another interesting part that was in there. And unfortunately for you, everybody in the zone, which I assume included the king, the guards, and Valentine, fails except the person that you probably needed it to hit the most. Valentine. Valentine does succeed this, and you see a little bit more of a smile kind of creep onto their face.
Rip. All right. Well, with the shot.
Also, I just want to point out, the second you start casting magic unprompted in the throne room, every guard is pointing their weapons at you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, no problem. Just making sure we're all staying honest in here.
Maybe,
everything's fine.
When you say that, Valentine immediately steps forward and goes, "What an interesting choice of words. Detective, was it? If you're saying that we are all going to be honest in here, well, by all means, step on into the zone yourself."
Ratch does.
I figured
I'll follow.
Mm-hmm. Valentine does not have any immediate questions for you. The guards are kind of making a barrier between you and the king. But then Valentine just goes, "No. Right, well, now that we're all on even footing, by all means, continue with what you were saying, Miss Pine."
Detective Hatchet, really quickly, I believe you should be aware of who all is resisting the effects of this. Is there anyone here that was resisting the effects to tell the truth?
Yeah, the slime ball. And I just point to Valentine.
Everyone kind of side-eyes Valentine immediately. But then Valentine raises their hands and goes, "Well, of course he was casting a spell that I wasn't aware of the nature of. Obviously, I was going to guard myself against it, but I'm happy to dismiss my resistance. At which point, I'm not exactly sure how this would work mechanically, but I know it's always a thing that you can choose to willingly fail saves. So we're gonna the resistance to the spell does dissipate.
Oh, so he is like actually now has to tell the truth.
Yep. Yeah. Actively resisted it
Can
and then let it drop, which is again notable and now known to everyone else around. And Valentine
We don't
asked
have
you again to
to-
confirm that is the case.
Now, Valentine. Oh, sorry. Actually,
No,
you were trying to say something.
Go ahead.
Sorry, we wouldn't have to play it out now. I just want to note that this is definitely the time that CL would slip away because
Gotcha.
all the
Well, it's
blocking
only-
has changed. Like, this is a big
Yeah.
distraction.
Noted.
So-
We will revisit that at the end, but yeah, that is a good time for it. Well, end of the scene. Yeah.
Valentine.
Valentine, are you or are you not a part of the Green Rock gang?
Valentine kind of looks, seems surprised that is your starting question. He goes, I have had diplomatic dealings with the Green Rock Gang, as is one of my duties in the King's Court. However, I do not directly report to them as some of the others do. My main allegiance is, of course, to this court itself.
Does anyone from the Green Rock gang report to you?
No, of course not.
Do you respect the king?
I certainly do respect the king. I think what the king has done for this nation is impeccably. I'm trying to do like, what was it? I totally lost my train of thought there. Admirable. We'll just say admirable. It's very hard to come up with like characters being manipulative but can't lie lines on the fly. Yes, I think what the king has done for Spondylus is very admirable.
Did you contact us last night?
I was not present at your place. No,
I did.
Did you
not.
send someone to contact us?
I didn't send someone either.
Did you contact us? Yes or no answer.
And I'd contact you not myself directly, no. If someone who is one of my underlings might have, that is entirely possible. I'm not always aware of the actions of my underlings. You did have a meeting with the king yesterday, correct?
Correct.
It is entirely possible that someone who is under my diplomatic purview went to extend a hand of diplomacy to someone who is now under the king's favor.
And would you know why that person happened to look exactly like you?
Now that I cannot say. Of course, what any of my underlings do is their business. If one of them is acting as myself, that is something I would like to be informed of. But I can genuinely say, Valentine turns to the king specifically, I was not present where they are claiming I was, and I do not know the specifics of anyone who might be.
Do you know anything about what was said at this meeting we had last night?
Of course not.
Okay. Second question.
Iggy blurts out,
Mm-hmm.
do you know any spells that use a small straw doll as a component?
Small straw doll. I mean, there are various curses and things that I am somewhat familiar with. Yes, I must be honest in that regard, but I am, of course, a learned spellcaster. That's nothing incriminating. I would like to remind everyone.
Do you know where he lives? I point to Iggy.
Sorry, I'm trying to. No, I do not. I would assume from your attire somewhere in a mining district, but that is purely a guess on my part.
Second question. Do you know anything about a series of vials with a weird liquid substance that some might describe as liquid gold?
A series of vials containing a substance of liquid gold. I have heard rumors that those have been floating around, yes, though I do not know what would be contained within them. I have not seen any myself.
Okay, and so you have none in your possession?
I have none in my possession. You may search me if you so desire.
Were you aware that Dr. Clock had 2 vials?
Dr. Clock's workings are not something that I try to involve myself in. I know that despite his ties with the Green Rock Gang, he is an admired scientist in our midst, but, well, I may as well take this opportunity to speak while I'm within a zone of truth. I do not enjoy interacting with the man. I find him extremely unpleasant.
Oh, he sucks. Wow, this spell's good.
The king chimes in and goes, but he's a dick.
We all hate the clock man.
I'm glad we could all get that off of our chest. Valentine, have you ever tried to manipulate the king?
Have I ever tried to manipulate the king? That is an excellent question coming from someone in your position. And I must say, That is my truth as a diplomat, that I do have to be very specific with my wording and things. I suppose, if I am being entirely honest, some of my actions could be taken as manipulative, but I do swear that they are for a good reason. I have never tried to do anything that is purely for my own ends. I only work for the good of those around.
Do you want me dead?
What?
Just a final check. The doppelganger that arrived last night threatened to kill me if I didn't let them look at the king's words, at the king's order, the one I have right here. I did not let them look at it, and I assume that means that doppelganger and whoever was in control of it wants me dead. And so, my final check to make sure you were not involved is, do you want me dead?
Miss Pine, was it? Let me assure you from the bottom of my heart that not only do I not want you dead, I have never met you before in my life.
I actually feel somewhat convinced. Are you the real Valentine?
That, again, is another one that kind of causes pause. What an odd question, Miss Pine. I believe that gets a little bit existential for the purposes of a zone of truth.
You can change your appearance, can you not?
I can. I am a changeling, of course, in some sense. That is my ability.
And so there's a very real chance that you could be a different changeling pretending to be Valentine, and that is why you were here and not there, and why you can kind of get around things. Again, just doing the due diligence before we get down to business. We want to make sure you're who you are, or say you are, and there's no threat to the king.
If you would allow me, Miss Pine, may I, in a sense, answer your question with a question that might enlighten the situation?
That sounds like avoiding the question.
Well, allow me to continue, please. Speaking as a diplomat, as I've said, I am quite used to manipulative language and things of the sort. If you are wanting to ask whether I am the real Valentine, I implore you to be more specific. As I said, that's a very existential question. There are ways I could get around it. For example, I could say that I do put on a front when I am in a diplomatic setting. Could this be considered the real me? Or who I am at home with friends and family? Is that the real Valentine? There are many ways I could twist my words, and if you want to get real information out of me, you should consider that as an option.
What is your name?
How should I ask the question in the way that gets the most information out of you? Oh, wait, no, I like what you said.
What is your name?
Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
Is Valentine always been your name?
Yes, well, for as long as my existence has continued, yes. I suppose not before I was born or made, or however existential take you want to have on that.
And how long has your existence continued?
That's a good question, actually. Yeah, you actually catch a pause. Good job, Nikhil. You catch a pause on that one for a bit. Yeah, good job. They shut up.
That was exhilarating. My God.
Good job, Nikhil. Good job.
So he just stops talking, or?
Well, stops talking in the sense of in kind of the same sense that I as the DM did of this is fun for me because I'm also thinking of these questions on the fly, and that was one that I did not have an answer immediately ready to. So you get the same reaction of shit.
Well,
at this point, there's just sort of a stunned silence, at which point the king finally interjects, Valentine, you're being fucking weird. At this point, Valentine goes, well, as a diplomat, I have to be in many places at once sometimes. My job requires me to do a lot of different things, wear a lot of different hats, and sometimes I have been known to use sort of replicated versions of myself in different situations so that I can handle my many duties in your service, my lord. That's nothing out of the ordinary.
So was one of those replicated duties, did they approach us?
I cannot say for sure. It is...
Just to confirm, you are a replicated version of Valentine.
One could say that and not be wrong.
So Valentine, the original, doesn't think the king is worth their time?
Well, that's of course not. You see
imagine.
the king's eyebrow raising. Well, no, that's not what I'm saying.
Was it the original Valentine, or a replicant, or yourself, the replicant, that met with the king all last night?
Well, I can genuinely say that I, as myself, who am present here in this moment, was also...
We have established as a replicant, yes.
Night.
Okay, so the original Valentine did not meet with the king last night? Yes or no?
No.
And what could possibly be more important than a meeting with the king?
Well, that I genuinely cannot say. I am not always purview to the actions of the original or what others may be doing at the moment. That memory is not always afforded to the replicants.
Would you consider yourself an alibi?
I would. I don't know. That's something that I am not equipped to answer, as I do not know what the original was doing. I know that I was here to attend to the matters of the king.
When the original is done with you, will you cease to exist?
A reabsorption, in a sense.
Is this
that
his
akin to
multiple
death?
name?
They're actually fucking shadow clones. Oh my god.
Because I am telling you right now, with all honesty, if you do not want to cease existing, we can help you. They created life, and now you are here, and it could end when they are tired of it. And that is messed up, and we can protect you.
Miss Pine, I truly admire that you are so concerned for my safety, but the question of the personal ego and identity of sort of replication is above my pay grade and not something that I find myself to be personally worried about.
So you don't mind?
No.
You might cease to exist?
It again, is not a ceasing of it. It complicated magical nonsense. It is a splitting and rejoining, breaking off a piece and then putting it back into the whole.
What's most important, I think, here, Your Majesty, is that the true Valentine has been sending you a shadow of himself instead of actually meeting with you when you want to meet with him. Themself. God, my bad.
Yeah, the king looks pissed at this stage. He goes, yeah, that's a good point. Valentine, what the hell? And then the king kind of just keeps sort of grumbling to himself. Very, like, the king seems to very clearly be on your side at this point. But Valentine eventually speaks up again. He goes, well, regardless of that, what
I should tell you, it only lasts 10 minutes. So whenever you think we've done this for enough time, take it away.
I mean, I don't think it's been 10 minutes yet. Because again, like, I should have looked at the timestamp for when we started this. But I think you have a couple more minutes.
Okay.
Valentine kind of goes, well, regardless of this, what is your point in speaking on this matter? Again, I don't know what any replications of myself or the original may or may not have been doing last night. That is, genuinely, speaking with the Zone of Truth as my witness, not something within my realm of knowledge. There are many magical reasons that somebody might have taken on my appearance. I am something of a public figure, and there are criminals in our midst. The evidence that you have is circumstantial at best.
No.
Of myself.
We have evidence that Valentine can replicate themselves. We have evidence that a replicant of themselves was here with the king, and not them, their original version. That's pretty damning evidence.
And we are saying, within the Zone of Truth, that one of the replicants came in, said some terrible things about the king and his mental capacities, very insulting things that I almost don't want to repeat in this court.
Valentine.
Actually, if I'm being honest, I do want to repeat it because it makes you sound very bad.
Valentine points at you while saying that. And goes, let me make a minor correction, Miss Pine. You saw someone who looked like me. That, in this case, does not necessarily mean me. From a legal perspective.
Would the original Valentine know what their replicants were doing? Because I'm sure if the original Valentine would come here, we could cast another Zone of Truth and find out from them if the person who was saying terrible things about the king was one of you. And surely the original Valentine could be bothered to come meet with their good friend, the king. I believe the king said you two went way back.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Oh, I hate that you agreed so fast. Okay. But I'm actually very, very worried about that.
At this point, Valentine is going to turn to the king, excuse themselves. Some guards do go with them, notably. They're not going by themselves, but, like, presumably to go get the original. If you like want to convince somebody to let you go with them, that's going to be a whole nother thing. But I do think this is probably a good time to cut over to CL and see any subterfuge or conversations that you are also having in this moment. So, rewind time a little bit. The zone of truth is cast. Everything gets crazy for a second. CL sneaks off into chaos. Here we go.
All right. Yeah, and CL is gonna sneak and go up to the guard that Iggy recognized.
I should note that guard is like on the pedestal. You might have to
on the pedestal.
There. That was like next to the king.
Okay, in that case, CL trying to position himself specifically out of Valentine's eye line, tries to like get the guard's attention.
I mean, they comes over to you.
Yeah. Hey, so while we have a moment and while the king is busy, I need you to handle something for me. This confounded box of the king's, it needs a passcode to get in. Could you help me with this?
Make me a deception check. Well, I'm trying to think if that would be a deception check or a persuasion. Because no, that is genuine. Persuasion check, actually. That is genuine enough.
Could I do perception? Perception is very good for me. Or deception, I mean. Sorry.
I guess given the context, sure. I'll let you pick. Because this is kind of a situation where the way that you frame it would change the context. So I'll let you pick.
It's a tricky one because it's like technically factually correct, but deceptive sentiment, ulterior motive, however you mean. Because with the deception, that's 16.
A 16. Let me incite that. Okay. The guard, while not immediately shutting you down, kind of ushers you off to like a side hallway in this throne room, not wanting to have this conversation out in the open. I kind of looks over and goes, "And why the hell do you have that?"
Well, it's one of those things that got passed from one hand to another, to another, to another. Basically, the king wanted to have a look at it, so we need to get this unlocked. You know how he can be.
Let me see it.
I give it over.
He takes a look at it. Goes, "Huh. Yeah, I hadn't actually seen this thing turned on, I guess. I was only, passing it around from place to place after we got it. I don't know what the passcode is."
How odd. Do you know of its significance at all?
It's a communication device, right?
For audio listeners, Befuddled repeats the upward pointing finger gesture that the guard just did.
Yeah, you have it. Surely you know.
Why do you know?
Because of the thing. The whole plan? You don't know about this? You kind of see the guard start to sort of reach for his weapon.
There's an expansion phase to the personnel of the plan. I'm relatively new. I have a few details. It's one of those spotty things when you're in a new job,
This is one of the This isn't a spotty detail. This is the thing. This is the plan. Why don't you tell me what the plan is?
Well, obviously there's a resource crisis down here. And there's been discovered an entire other world full of resources for us to use. So we must infiltrate and understand the upside world, is the general gist.
Make me such a wildly important deception check. The specific thing that you phrase that as.
So nervous.
25!
25 is good. Oh, and he got a 5 on the die. which means you just got something very important here. In fact, hang on though. For the dramatic moment, I'll let everybody keep their headphones on. He kind of looks at you for a second and goes, No, I get it. You got it backwards. Up there, they want our stuff, so they're going to help the king and everyone stay in power, get rid of the guards, and then we're going to give them their resources from down here. They got a ton of stuff up there, and, the king, old-ass lizard, he and his guys want to stay in here, but everybody's getting all uppity with the Green Rock Gang and all that, so we're making a bit of an alliance. But you were close, though. It's close enough, I believe you.
Ciel's eyes are dollar coins size. Just like, yes. I was very confused about that.
Yeah, no, I get it. They don't tell us anything. The higher-ups keep all the information.
Bureaucracy, red tape. Oh, my God. Work.
Fuck 'em. That's what I say.
You're damn right.
No, you can say it. Fuck them. Come on.
Fuck them.
Yeah. But hey, he kind of holds out like a hand for you to fist bump. Goes, we're going to come out on top though, right?
In more ways than one.
You fist bump this guy. And then, now things are going to get more... Make me a quick perception check.
Oh boy.
You're also going to have to get really high on this one, but I'm going to give you the shot to get some more info here.
Will a 15 do anything?
A 15 I do not think will do anything, but you're still going to get the sort of aftermath of it, which is another very important bit of info here. As you fist bump this guy, you hear a voice kind of off in the shadows of this hallway that is next to you. It's a very loud car goes by my apartment. You hear this very, very smooth, very kind of manipulative voice goes, "Oh, yes, good. I see you people have met each other. Good to have all our underlings working together here." And Valentine walks out of the shadows of this hallway and kind of puts their hand on your shoulder and gives you a very creepy grin. And I should remind you that you have not heard any of the stuff that's going on in the throne room right now.
Well, that's logically inconsistent.
Isn't it, though?
That's the episode title. That's logically inconsistent.
That's good.
But you know how this sort of operation works. We gotta keep him guessing.
So we do. So how much do you know about everything?
Running it back for Valentine.
Oh, you joke. Funny. The guard kind of chuckles too at that.
All we have are jokes. I think we're out of everything else.
Personally, I think this is hilarious.
Does it have anything to do with that fucking doll?
Have we caught up in time yet, or is it still simultaneous?
I think it's about to catch up. I think it's about to.
Okay.
I should have looked at the timestamps, but Valentine again kind of just looks at you and goes, "Well, you said it, not me." Actually, you know what? I'll actually do a little bit more. As Valentine says that, you suddenly get like a flashback, CL, of you picking the doll up and like putting it in your bag, which you did not remember until just now. Charisma save a while ago that you failed.
I checked everything. But
you didn't check yourself.
But myself! Ciel is crushed. He has no response. He's frozen. We'll catch up in time.
Yeah.
He's so fucked in this moment.
At this point, Valentine's going to gesture to both you and the guard. Come with me. We have some things to discuss. They're going to walk off unless you are going to
wait. No, hold on. if we've caught up in time, I want to roll perception to see if I can see the Valentines in this room.
Oh, no, this is happening, like, out of your eye line. Valentine would not... The guard specifically took you guys, like, out of eye shot so that you could deal with, like, the illicit thing that is... This is not, like... Right. This is often, like, a side hallway.
Fine.
But yeah, Valentine ushers you two away, and then we will cut back to the scene going on in the throne room. Again, Valentine has left now to go and presumably get the original. You guys have a couple minutes if you want to discuss anything with the king or amongst yourselves, etc., etc.
Your Majesty, you cannot trust a thing any version of Valentine tells you, as I hope this is just proven to you how deceitful of a creature this is.
Important question. Is the Zone of Truth... Did you dismiss the Zone of Truth when you
I'd say we did. I'd say it's over.
Yeah, I was gonna... And
oh, yeah.
Actually, that makes it... Yeah. At hearing that, the king just kind of, like, crosses his arms and slumps down in his much too large chair. Goes, I actually hate all of you. Oh, is the Zone... Oh, I thought the Zone was... Can someone bring me another rat? One of the guards. That was he eats rats. That was the thing from last time. One of the guards goes to get him a rat. He's just sitting there like sulking at this point. So again, if you guys want to have any conversations, you got to prompt it. He's having a hissy fit.
I think I'm gonna ask him if he's okay.
No.
So, yeah.
I was having a good morning. We were talking. I was gonna get a rat. And then there was going to be a banquet tonight for unrelated reasons, and now I found out that one of my friends, co-workers, is a asshole, and now there's this Minotaur who's been yelling at me, and I don't like him.
I'm sorry, sir.
I have that effect on people.
It's a horrible day.
If there's anything we can do to make it better, please let us know. It sucks to lose a friend.
You should kill the Minotaur.
Don't kill the Minotaur.
There's a brief pause, and then one of the guards kind of leans over and goes, No, sir, that's not... Don't worry about that now. And then he kind of goes back to just sulking in his chair.
I wanted, before, even if that's not what he was going to do, when that guard got up, the rat just kind of looks at him and like just shakes his head. He's like, please don't.
The guard kind of looks at him. Just, don't worry about it. He puts his head and he goes, he says that all the time. It's fine, don't worry about it. We never actually do it. He forgets. But if there's...
This is awkward.
Yeah, oh no, I'm tempted to just have us sit here for 10 minutes with the king just sulking and nobody saying anything to get the full experience, but I will take mercy on our viewers, and we will fast forward to... how long would this reasonably take? Because where would original Valentine be at this moment? Okay, I think, yeah, like 25 minutes to half an hour passes, something like that. And then the doors open, the whole fanfare goes again, the whole 9 yards. And Valentine, seemingly the same one, walks in with a couple of other guards and then steps back up to the throne room on the pedestal in the same place, and turns to him and goes, terribly sorry about all the confusion that this has caused. I was not expecting some of my practical work applications to come to a head today, but I'm here now for any questions that need answering.
Can we throw that Zone of Truth back?
Yeah, I cast Zone of Truth back again.
Okay, make me a charisma save.
I make the save?
Yep.
Alright. That is a 24.
A 24. Okay, that's actually pretty good.
I'm a bard. My charisma's stacked.
Yeah, you cast the spell. Good job.
Woo! Alright, make him cast a fucking charisma save.
Yes, now everybody has to make the saves. King definitely fails it, but I don't think that surprises anybody. I don't know why I'm rolling for the guards. They're going to do it willingly, but I will roll for original Valentine, who does not fall victim. Definitely resist it easily.
He's resisting again. Slime ball.
He goes, oh, no. I don't believe I am resisting. Have you checked the logistics of that spell again, my good man?
I
Sorry for the
can't be
logistics.
lying. It's true.
Well, you actually could. Technically, there's no way that we can be sure that you're not resisting your own spell.
You see what I mean, Your Majesty? You see what I'm talking about here?
This is the worst
Can't trust a
fucking
thing.
day.
Can't trust a
I want to
thing.
go home and take a nap.
Your Majesty, wouldn't you rather we just kill Valentine now and then go get some more rats? I have a method of smoking them that's incredible.
It's true. We could resolve this all in a few moments.
This is a grave insult, and it shouldn't stand.
The king, considers that for, you just kind of see, put a hand up to his chin, like, maybe. I do kind of want to be done with all this. But then Valentine interjects before they can go on and goes, look, I do have so much to do today. A lot of things are going on, a lot of moving parts. We're working on so many projects up here at the castle. Can we just move this along quick? Would it help if I willingly did not resist your spell again? I believe that is what my replicant did earlier, yes.
So you do know what the replicants do?
I have remerged with the one you were talking to earlier, and the memories have been restored. Again, they do not restore until the replicant has been reabsorbed into the whole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah,
he?
go ahead.
Do they do that?
Yeah, that they do drop the resistance on the spell.
All right. So did you send a replicant or any other means of communication to our place of business?
Make me a
last night?
charisma save, Pine. You are now in direct conflict with the charisma boss, so expect some of
the charisma.
these.
So I'm hoping. Does a 21?
A 21. So you don't actually say anything.
All right. Hatchet's turn.
Fuck you mean nuh-uh?
Hey, did you come after us last night?
Charisma save.
Is it magical?
It is a magical effect, yes.
I have advantage
Go for it.
as a deep gnome.
Go for it.
Yeah, Iggy.
Nat 20.
Hell yeah.
Ooh,
Let's go,
boy.
Iggy!
So what was it? What did you say exactly?
I said, did you come after us last night?
Of course not. I was busy with some other matters.
Am I able to speak?
Any
other
version
people?
of you.
So for my note, what were you going to say, Pine, just so that everyone knows the situation?
Oh, I was going to ask a mechanical question. If I'm able to speak to other members of the party and just not Valentine, or if I'm just silenced.
If you want to say something else, tell me, and we will handle that case by case. I'll phrase it like that so that I don't give away the exact mechanics of how this is going to go. So so did any version of you come back? At this, Valentine pauses. You're not bad at this. You're better at this than I was expecting you to be. The detective has been inept at everything. No offense. Well, some offense. You've been inept at everything
got
up
your
until this
other
point.
guys.
Until now, and I am impressed. It's true. So you've done a good job here.
We are rivals for the ages, with a mutual respect between us.
I wouldn't go that far. I could consider myself your rival, but I really don't want to get down on your level.
Says the criminal. So wait, what was his answer to the if he came?
Technically did not answer yet.
Answer the question. Did you come to talk to us last night, or did you send anyone to come to talk to us last night?
Really
Are you aware that someone stalked?
Yeah, you need to get quite a bit better about how you use this zone of truth. You need to learn how the questions need to be phrased. But you're getting there, and yes, I did. One of my replicants was there. One of my replicants talked to you. I believe you almost blew it up with a lightning bolt, from what I understand now.
That was me.
Oh yeah, he was looking at Pine when saying that.
Yeah, am I able to say yes? I did. It
Yeah.
threatened me.
At this point, yeah, you can speak. He goes, yes, I'm sure it did. You are getting in my way somewhat, and I am not very happy with that. Luckily, I don't anticipate it to be much of an issue. You've caused me annoyance, but not much beyond.
Why are you gloating about being able to get around a truth serum? Are you hiding something?
I'm hiding absolutely nothing, not right now. In fact, I think it should worry you a little bit more that I'm willing to tell you outright the moment that I am engaged in criminal activity, I am working against the throne, etc., etc., etc. And of course, CL, is that your friend's name? He's being dealt with as we speak.
Your
Don't love
Majesty,
that.
He just said he was working, or they just said they were working against the throne.
What is your honest opinion of the king?
No, I think he's a buffoon. Doddering old fool who can barely form a sentence coherently, let alone run a kingdom.
Well, see, your majesty, shouldn't we kill him?
You look over at the king, and the king is just sitting there, eyes glazed over, clearly not zoned into whatever conversation is happening right now.
Uh-oh. What do you do with the king?
Just
Rip.
because you four... Well, no, it is four, Shepard there. Just because you four are more adept at resisting my abilities. As I said, the king is a doddering old fool, and far less resistant to my little tricks.
So
He'll remember
now,
this
hold
meeting
on.
being boring, as he thinks everything is.
Hold on. So you've cast a spell on the king,
Of course.
and we
That's
can
obvious at
all
this point.
attest that that's what happened under a zone of truth.
Mhm.
I assume all of the knights in this room have fallen under your spell too?
More in a metaphorical sense.
See. So you're paying them off? They're under your control?
Now you've hit the nail on the head.
Shit.
Real quick, can I also... Like, I feel like we're not getting much from Valentine. Does anyone want anything else from Valentine?
I mean, you can
I
keep asking questions as long as you want, but I will go ahead and say that in this situation,
CL's then.
your group does not have the upper hand right now. I'll give you that much.
In just anger, I want to cast vicious or hideous laughter on him.
Mm-hmm. Go for it. What's the
That is a wisdom of 15 to save.
wisdom save 15? Oh yeah, fine.
Rip. I want him to laugh.
Once again, I admire your convictions, even though they're really not helping you much at this level.
I dislike you very much.
The feeling is mutual.
So
I'm
we
going to-
are mutual. Good.
Can I look at my two teammates here and say, so do we kill them, or do we think that we shouldn't get into this fight?
Truthfully, I've been casting other spells and nothing has happened to this person. I don't know if we should try to attack them right now.
Are you opposed to combat? You said you don't know if we should attack them right now? Okay.
As you guys are discussing whether or not you should fight, Valentine kind of walks over to the throne, gestures for the king to get off of it, and then does the classic supervillain, like, side sit across the throne very casually while just watching you debate whether or not you're going to fight them.
This Kingdom Hearts key art motherfucker. Look at us.
Yep. This type of asshole.
I'm really considering whether or not to directly try to fight it.
Hey, that's the beauty of D&D. This is not scripted. You guys do whatever nonsense you want. You've handled this interaction great. I was not sure if you were going to get to the actual Valentine.
Them knocking out the king makes so much sense, but ruins all of my plans. It makes me so sad.
I mean,
how do you gonna?
It's fun. I put you in a situation. Now you got to try to get out of it.
Hey, the king's a doddering old fool with declining political power, but we have the king on our side.
Yeah.
This will go great.
A doddering old
I
fool
did
with
tell
dwindling
you.
political power that has the ability to order the death of people. That's all you need.
Well, no, but that's the... Pine was so... I remember when Pine got the thing, I was explicitly like, this is not going to be as helpful as you necessarily think it is. I tried to warn you.
Okay.
I tried to foreshadow it.
I
I'm not gonna metagame that.
Logically,
No, that's fair.
logically,
to
if
hear.
he gets if he's a criminal and he's a criminal diplomat, removing him from his diplomat role would remove most of his power. That is how political crime works.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like there's a reason to what the king did not like him.
Yeah,
Also-
that's valid.
They may have control of all the knights, but I mean, how strong is one knight? How strong is 5 to 10 knights?
Also, the knights won't still follow them if they are if the tide shifts against them. They're buying in to Valentine thinking that he's going to be someone worth following. If someone else worth following shows up, fine.
Yeah.
They won't need him.
Yeah, I mean that was my next play, was to try to appeal to the guards. In fact, actually,
Yeah.
Valentine's sitting on the throne. I'm just gonna look at
Go
the
nuts.
guards and be like, I will treat you better than they ever will. I am in the zone of truth right now. It will take a matter of seconds, with everyone in this room's help, to turn the power of the tide against Valentine. Are you really committed to that ship? Because this is your opportunity to change your fate.
Make me a persuasion check. It's gonna have to be a good one, because while that's a good speech, you do not know if that thing about everyone being able to turn the tide right now is true or not. That's quite a cold shot.
How
Hey, I
many
believe
people
you.
are? How many guards are in the
Make
chamber?
it, guys.
Like 4, maybe. Actually, probably. I don't think I
Oh.
actually gave a hard number.
I
No, there's not
was
a lot.
thinking. I was
There's-
thinking 40.
Yeah, me too. This
And if I did not make that clear, that's my bad. I assumed there were 2 on each side, and one of them went with CL. So there's 3 guys.
okay.
Oh yeah, that's not great odds.
Is an 18 good enough?
An 18 is a good roll, but probably
Yeah, that's the
not.
thing.
It's a good roll. I do not think it is a good roll to overcome what we'll call the passive intimidation that Valentine has over this situation. That speech does get a laugh out of Valentine for what that's worth, but that's really the only reaction that you're going to get off of that. However, you know what? Just for the sake of this being funnier, actually, I guess Mike can leave headphones on, but Nikhil and Jess, take your headphones off real quick.
I
Iggy,
hate it.
in your ear,
Yeah.
you hear little voices. So it seems like things kind of went south, huh?
Yeah. Not great.
Do we need a sort of an out from this one? I'm not sure how we're gonna get out otherwise, but I can try to lend my assistance.
You got some kind of Deus Ex Machina in there?
I can set, well,
Get out of here.
I can do some enhancement. I'm not gonna be the one that automatically gets you out of the situation, but if you've got a way to get out, I can amp it up with some of my stuff and give you the power to overcome whatever he's got. So you do the plan, I'll give it the juice to make it work.
I'm not really the plan guy.
Well, you're the guy whose shoulder I'm sitting on, so you're the plan guy now.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the promotion.
Ooh.
And I should note, if you don't, they're like, this whole thing does not hinge on you coming up with something. If you don't, there are other factors at play. But
Right. What's Shepard up to?
Shepard is standing there. Actually, has not moved much. Like, you can tell that Shepard is battle ready, is like ready to grab that staff at a moment's notice. But Shepard actually seems maybe more concerned about where CL went, considering that he did see you hand the phone off to him. Like, he is scanning the room more than he is looking at Valentine. But he is ready.
Yeah, Shep, you know any spells that could get us out of here, like, quick? I think things are about to go south.
I mean, by get us out of here, how much violence are we talking about in the exit process?
I mean, it depends on who it's directed at. I mean,
That's a damn good
these
answer,
guards
actually.
are kind of innocent, but yeah. But I mean, you could do whatever you want to Valentine. He's the one who's gonna kill us if things go south.
All right.
When things go south.
All right, fuck it. Go when the thing happens. At this point, everyone can come back. We'll do this scene. This will probably actually be the close to the ending scene. I might make this episode a little bit shorter, but I think this is the time for maybe another absolute bullshit reveal. This has been the episode. This is halfway through the show. Oh no, it's not. Next episode is halfway through the show. Okay, so for anyone who is not there, you see, or you can catch a glimpse of Iggy kind of talking subtly into sort of his coat in his shoulder there, and then leaning over and saying some things to Shepard. At which point, actually, I think Shepard is going to say this more out loud. So the line that he said to you at the end, Iggy, there, that was not whispered. That was to everybody. After this short, hushed conversation, he says out loud to the room, goes, all right, everybody, get ready to go when the thing happens. This kind of gets the attention of everyone in the room immediately. Valentine sits up a little bit intrigued. The guards move over. And very quickly, without really giving anybody time to process, Shepard reaches into his jacket, his likely Western gunslinger jacket, and takes out a little disc. It seems to be something magical. You guys do not know what. You can do an Arcana check on it if you would like, but it'll be a tough one because he's just grabbing it.
Sure. I like doing checks. Oh, that's a nat 20! What?
Oh! Woo! Oh, well, see, I maybe shouldn't have had you do a check, because now I'm realizing I don't know if you guys would have any context for what this is. But, I mean, hey, maybe that is actually the check. This is not something that you have any sort of context for whatsoever. This is something that is clearly from the surface world. This is a very potent type of magic, but a type that you have not seen. And after grabbing this thing, Shepard takes the disc and literally just hurls it into the air above you, where it kind of like hits near the ceiling and sticks and starts glowing. This kind of hovers there for a second. Valentine looks up and goes, I was expecting something a little bit more dynamic than that. What is that? Is that something that I should recognize? Which point Shepard turns to him and goes, yeah, I didn't expect you all down here to have any sort of context for what that sort of thing is, given that all that you guys got up on the ceiling there is rocks, no sun, no stars, no motherfucking moon. And with that, the light starts glowing brighter and filling the room as you see Shepard start to grow and morph into a more wolf-like shape. And as he turns around, he goes, I don't know if you guys have same type of dogs we do down here, but Shepard's a nickname, more of the German variety. And as Shepard transforms in the middle of this courtroom into a motherfucking werewolf, I think that's where we're going to end Minor Infractions episode 4.
I love the idea that he also... I love the idea that he also casually drops Germany as like a thing. He's just like, hey, more of the German variety. We're all like, yeah.
We all know what that is.
Germany.
Yep, yeah, you guys all know what that is. All right. A big episode
you're still muted.
For reveals. A very big episode for reveals. The true nature of Valentine revealed in what episode? A little bit more the nature of the plan revealed. Shepard is a werewolf, which I'll go ahead and tell you. It's why he's sent on the underground missions, because that is not a liability when you are outside of moon range. Anyway, you'll get to hear a lot more about that in future episodes, but as for this one, what are we thinking? How are we feeling?
Love it. Question. Size comparison of Minotaur and werewolf.
Oh, he's a very large werewolf. He's how tall are you? Like 7-8 feet, maybe? I don't know.
Something like that, yeah.
I would say
Something
he's
like that.
Probably like 9. He's a very large, very scary werewolf.
Okay. 9 feet tall.
Jesus. Yeah, he's big. You'll get to see more of his form next week. But yeah, I love DMing for settings like this where I can just do whatever the fuck I want, because I can just make a wizard sniper werewolf cowboy and no one can stop me from doing that. I can just do whatever I want. That's the beauty of Dungeons and Dragons. Anyway, that's I'm happy with the end of this episode. Nikhil, before we go into the after show, because that's behind a paywall, I have to congratulate you. Good job in the little Ace Attorney sequence. You got that how long have you existed question. That was great. That was a great little nugget to hit on. Crack the case wide open. I think Ratch Hatchet has earned his detective title, finally.
That was one thing.
You know, it is kind of funny, though. You've been joking for the previous episodes about, like, playing a smart character while your words not mine, not being smart. But I do think it's very fitting that even though the roles do not always support it, you Nikhil got the smart detective moment. So props to you for not doing something that relied on roles and having the moment more genuinely.
I want art of Ratch Hatchet in the Ace Attorney booth doing the, like, hold it or the objection.
Yes, that would be excellent. All right. Do we have any wrap-up announcements here? I don't think I personally have anything. Does anybody else have anything? Jake, you probably still have appearance. Those are still coming up, aren't they?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I have an appearance in Indianapolis in about 2 weeks, the 23rd. I'll be at Alpha and Moon Game Store for their opening day. Doing some live Roll for Sandwich, doing live D&D. It's going to be fun. For anyone who's listening or actually here on the stream, I'm going to play a warlock who is a very straight-laced, dour, evil type warlock whose patron is a sparkly glitter rainbow unicorn. And so any spell that he does is like rainbows and glitter. While he's being completely serious and dark.
That's a very Gravity Falls type energy that I love. I'm actually going to turn into that. That sounds great. Does anyone else?
Once again, please follow my Instagram. I've lost followers recently.
Oh no.
I need to go up.
Go follow Nikhil's Instagram. Jess, Mike, you have anything?
Stream my girlfriend's music. St. Josie on Spotify. She's awesome. She just had a song break 150,000 streams. And it's really good.
Tell her congratulations.
Nice.
I will. Yeah, go listen to it. She's got more music coming out later this year, and I'm really excited about it.
Awesome.
St. Josie, Spotify.
I guess I'll plug this for myself. I was at Emerald City Comic Con. I've said that many times. But while I was there, I got to do these very quick but great interviews with both Jim Zub and Kieran Gillen, who are, big name comic book writers. I bet a lot of you probably recognize them, but if you don't, they've done a bunch of Dungeons & Dragons stuff. They've done, Jim Zub has done Dungeons & Dragons, Conan the Barbarian, some Moon Knight. Gillen has done legitimately too many things for me to list. There's a billion of them. Those are going to be posted. And actually, they're on Friends Only now, so people in this chat have already seen them. But those are going to be posted publicly this weekend. Please watch them. Please tell all your friends to watch them, because if those get good views, I can do more of them. So let me be a professional interview boy and enjoy the interviews that I did.
Mm-hmm.
Were you going to say
something?
They're good. Thank you. That actually means a lot. I was incredibly nervous.
Hey, no, that's fine.
But yes, those will be up later this week. I'm posting the rest of my Emerald City Comic Con content over the next couple of days. I will be editing that tonight, but we're going to do the after show first. So thank you all for watching this episode. I hope you all enjoyed. Players, I hope you had fun. We will see you next week for episode 5. That will actually be presumably, live show scheduling might change a little bit, but that should be the halfway point for Minor Infractions. So you will get to see a lot more things revealed then. We will see you next week. Have a good rest of your night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. The balloon